One more time in this IBL regular season, the Hamilton Cardinals host the Welland Jackfish on home field in a game that has big implications for the home-standing Cards, the cardiac Cards, if you will, coming off of two late-game comeback victories in their last two times out. For Cable 14, Hamilton Cardinals baseball, it's Reed Duffy alongside my broadcast partner, Troy Islikar. Troy, it is a hot Sunday afternoon, and for the Cardinals, they'll have to brave the elements and brave the number one team in the league if they want any chance at climbing up into that number 5 seed.
Yeah, sunny, hot, but a nice little breeze. Perfect for Fan Appreciation Day here at Bernie Arbor Stadium. You know, the fans have really come out here this season for the Cardinals and have really shown this franchise that they're behind them, and they need them desperately today. Welland Jackfish are home and cool. They've got a playoff spot. They've won the pennant. They know who they're going to play. They're going to play Brantford. That's going to start on Thursday. The Hamilton Cardinals, they can have various different scenarios based on what they do here and what teams do elsewhere.
I believe there is still on the board 3 potential opponents for the Cardinals in the first round, and there's only 2 games left in this season. This was supposed to be the last game of the year for the Cardinals. A rainout on Thursday night made it so that they'll finish tomorrow night. As you take a look at the standings in the IBL, the Jackfish, as you said, Troy, they are sitting cool. They know what's coming for them. Brantford Red Sox, and the Red Sox will go into that series likely without the services of Matthew Fabian, who had a tremendous rookie season, but we'll get into all of how this matters more as we get through this game, and we'll send it down to field level for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With love, hearts we see rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on
Beautiful rendition of O Canada to get us started here this afternoon. And for the Cardinals, you talk about starting in front of what will be another packed house here. The grandstand still filling in below us for this afternoon's game. Colby Ring will be the man tasked with going out and getting the job done. Troy, he started the most games on the season for these Hamilton Cardinals. 11 starts on the year. He's pitched 54 innings, carrying a 3-6 record. Some of those have been a little bit hard luck losses for the Langley lefty, and Colby Ring is a young man with big potential.
Yeah, 6.50 ERA and 36 strikeouts on the season. Likes to move that ball around the plate, and he'll be challenging batters, those Welland batters inside, and then he'll come out and try and make them reach across that plate outside. So he's going to work that ball around today. His battery mate, Taylor Rempel, is in behind the plate tonight with him. He was the DH last game, and so a couple of the Cardinals have moved around here this afternoon.
Yeah, that's the only changes in the lineup is the starting pitcher, Dylan Clement, in his first IBL start on Friday night was excellent. And behind the plate, both Rempel and Bernardo are in the lineup, but they've just switched roles.
Yep.
Bernardo taking over the DH spot today. Tanner Rempel will catch for Colby Ring. And it's a bit of a different-looking Welland lineup, mixture of the experienced vets, the guys that have carried this team all season, and mixing in some players that I think, Troy, they're just looking to get a little bit more time, a little bit more exposure before the postseason comes up, as Ethan Pasco, for instance, will lead off this lineup. Pasco comes into the game so far on the season having just 22 at-bats.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 8, Ethan Pasco.
Pasco is hitting .318 in those 22 at-bats.
Yeah, has just played one game against the Cardinals this year. And didn't register a hit in that game.
And Ring will look into Rempel for the opening pitch. We are underway as Rempel delivers ball 1. We've seen a lot of Colby Ring specifically on Friday nights, especially earlier on in the season. At one point, Ring started 3 straight Friday night games for the Cardinals. And early on, Adam DeCaires,
Mr. Friday Night.
Mr. Friday Night. Well, Jason Wilbur actually took that mantle. He started 4 straight Fridays. Up until this week when Dylan Clement stepped in. As Adam DeCaire has not liked any of the offerings thus far from Colby Ring. Count is 3-0 to Ethan Pasco. And that one will be strike 1, and Pasco
Tried to sell it.
Did he ever?
Threw the bat halfway back to Welland. That was in the back of the car.
It was almost down Highway 20. As Ring will wind on the 3-1 and delivers. And Pasco fouls that back, and after Ring went 3 straight balls, he's worked the count back to full. Pasco will be followed by McCoy, Pierce, Carlos Martinez, Steve Moretto, Mateo Porcelato, James Smybert, Sam Cocker, Caleb Furstake, and Gianfranco Morello. As that will be tapped back by Pasco. And try the middle of that Welland order, still ever dangerous. Martinez, Moretto, Porcelato, Smybert, and Cocker. They have featured heavily in a great season for the Jackfish, as Ring delivers that one a little bit high, and it will be the walk to Pasco to open things up.
Yeah, they want to keep the guys, they want to give them a little bit of a rest prior to the playoffs, but they also want to keep them current and keep them going, right? Big playoffs coming up, and you just don't want them to have that much of a layoff. At bats is where it counts at this point of the year.
McCoy Pierce will step in. Pierce on the season hitting .296 from mainly the first base spot. As that ball is fouled back 0-1. So Ring will have to operate with a little bit of traffic early.
Pasco with a big lead there.
Kind of tantalizing the lefty on the hill.
You want to be careful with that left-handed pitcher. He's got good optics to first base.
We saw that the other night with Isaiah Ramos and the 27 different deliveries that he showed Hamilton Cardinals hitters, and different leg kicks, different motions. And as a lefty, he was able to gun it over a couple of times to first base and nearly had Cardinals picked off because nobody knew what he was going to do.
Yeah, Colby Ring has 30 walks on the season. He leads the team in walks, but also the most innings pitched.
And Pierce clobbers that one out foul. 1-2. Ring started the season on a torrid pace. He's had a couple of outings that have gotten a little bit away from him, but overall in the season, Troy, for his first year in the IPL, Ring has been excellent for the Cardinals and somebody that this franchise can build around moving forward. He, Nick Cardinal, Logan Walters, as they grow as a group, could present a very good starting rotation as McCoy Pierce sends this one into shallow left, and it'll be enough to move Pasco, who is on the run, over to third base.
Yeah, Jackfish had the hit and run on, and Pasco moving on the pitch and gets over to third. Runners on the corners here early on, none out.
As we'll take another look at McCoy Pierce turning on that offering from Ring and was able to put it past Nicholson and out to where DeBanning had to run on.
Yeah, really nice piece of hitting there.
And Carlos Martinez will make his way in, hitting .349 on the season.
Yeah, Pasco again. Wandering down the line here. And Rempel's going to have to keep an eye on him.
Pasco almost looked like he was trying to...
A little bit of a jump start there.
Yeah, maybe fool somebody into checking him back at third, or...
Yeah, he's trying to take Colby Ring's mind off what's happening in front of him. And
as Ring will have the long look in, the delivery, and Martinez fouls that back way up and over the broadcast position.
You guys caught a ball at all this year?
No, we've had him come up and over. We've had him clatter down in the front, kind of die out. Nothing has actually made it into the booth, which is a good thing, because if it does, I'm going out that door.
I always just pictured you sitting here with your glove and, like hat on sideways. And
Sideways?
Yeah. Isn't that what all the cool kids do nowadays?
I don't know about that. I'm not one.
You're older now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what the kids are doing.
You're old.
3-1 the count to Martinez.
You can get away with dad wear now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the positive of it. Got in trouble for socks and sandals the other day, and I was just going out to put out the recycling.
Now, early on here, the Cardinals are
Stepping up to the plate.
find themselves in a little bit of trouble here. The base is loaded now with that another walk issued by Colby Ring.
Yeah, with Martinez down to first base, it's Pasco at third, Pierce second, Martinez first with Steve Moretto, the batter, hitting .315 on the year.
Not exactly the guy you want up in this situation.
No, not in the slightest.
Moretto with 10 home runs and 29 RBIs in 2023, so it's had a really good season.
The announcer when Alex said it.
Moretto delivers, Ring delivers ball one to Moretto. Second pitch is in the dirt, and Ring has not yet found his consistency.
Yeah, he's trying to be safe here with Moretto, and he doesn't want to give him anything right down the heart of the plate, but he's having a tough time finding the corners.
Tanner Rempel may have to take a walk out to the mound here shortly as Ring delivers, and that one is flown foul, carrying out towards the fence, and it's going to drop just away from Josh Niles.
Yeah, Ring took a little bit off of that, and Moretto was a little late. That was his pitch right there, and I think he knows it.
So Moretto will settle in 2-1. That fly foul was the kind of thing that Ring needs in this spot. Just carried a little bit too far for Niles to be able to get over to. It's 3-1, and Ring was asking Adam DeCare where that one missed.
Yeah, Ring, I think now thinks that he's getting squeezed a little bit, and he might be right, but Tanner Rempel lining up on that far corner, and he doesn't get it. Wow, that was close.
Adam DeCare again shaking his head towards Colby Ring, who walks home a run. And Dean Castelli is having words with DeCare early on. And if you're not going to give him that inside corner tray, you've got to give him the outside. And DeCare gave neither.
Yeah, I think you're right here. He's calling him a little bit tight. And Dean Castelli coming out there, and Tanner Rempel coming out, and I imagine they might be talking about anything other than baseball right now. Just want to get him settled down early on here Down 1 run already. The base is still loaded, none out.
As Colby Ring will resettle, as Dean Castelli's going to head back off. And, well, we're blocked there by McCoy Pierce at second, but from our vantage point from behind the plate, Troy, I have no idea where that pitch missed.
Well, I am right on that corner, and it looked pretty darn good.
So Mateo Porcelato hitting .329 on the season, in with the bases loaded. And Ring doesn't get that one either.
Yeah, that was across the heart of the plate, but a little low. I think Ring might be getting a little frustrated right now with home plate ump.
He's not getting either corner. He's not getting a low pitch. He's not getting a high pitch. And Porcelato sends this into right field. Tyler Duncan back to the track. He's underneath it. Throw will be back into the infield. Tagging and scoring will be McCoy Pierce, as Porcelato will have the RBI sac fly.
Now at the plate, the shortstop, number 23, James Sneeber.
Yeah, that moves Martinez over to third, and runners on the corners now for the Jackfish. And Colby Ring would desperately like to induce a ground ball here, get a double play, and try and get out of this first inning. Just down 2-0.
Ring delivers, and Smybert chops that one foul and up off the roof of the clubhouse.
And Rempel back out to talk to Ray again.
I think he was delivering him a ball while Adam DeCare reloads the pockets.
Delivering it the ball the hard way, sending a message. Carrying it right out there.
You got to look at the runners on the corners. Ring delivers. Smybert puts that one through the hole. Martinez will score, and it's a base hit. And a quick 3-0 Welland lead in the first inning.
Wow, Smybert, nice little in-out swing, getting that right through the hole to the right of Nicholson, who was playing over a little bit for the left-handed batter, and he just does a nice job pushing that over. Good piece of hitting there again.
That'll bring up the catcher, Sam Cocker, hitting .267 on the year. And Ring still in the same spot, could very much use something on the ground. And maybe not hit as hard as that last one was that managed to split Nicholson and Underwood. As Ring delivers, and that one runs inside. The defense behind Ring, outside of Rempel, unchanged from Friday night. Going first to third, Niles, Renault, Nicholson, and Underwood. And in the outfield, left to right, DeBanning, Cotton, and Duncan. Count is 2-0. That one well outside, 3-0. And this is the kind of inning, Troy, where Ring just needs to get out of.
Yeah, absolutely. This has not gone well. Combination of some walks and some really nice hitting by the Jackfish.
Again, and that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Cocker. Fourth walk of the first inning issued by Ring.
The right fielder, number 1, Caleb Fjorstake.
Caleb Fjorstake coming in. Fjorstake, who's batting .354, just 48 at-bats on the year.
Yeah, Colby Ring at 29 pitches already here in this top of the first inning.
Yeah, there might be some early action starting up in the Cardinals bullpen.
Yeah, there is.
As Fjorstake swings at strike one.
Oh, really?
I still have the long look in. The delivery will plunk Fiersteak. And that's going to bring home a 4th run in this opening inning for the Jackfish. As coming across is Moretto.
Stepping up to the plate, the center fielder, number 11, Gio Morello.
Yeah, Rempel's going back out there to talk to him. This top of this first inning couldn't have gone any worse for the Hamilton Cardinals here this afternoon. Like you said, the 4th walk there, a hit batter, some great hitting, and they find themselves in some trouble here. There's already some action in the bullpen.
Yeah, it's the junior Seth Cabezas who's out there working out. Ring has just got to battle his way out of this.
What a situation for the junior to come into.
Yeah, if they have to call upon him. We saw Dylan Clement, who was excellent in his first IBL start the other night. As Morello, who bats out of that real crouch.
One thing I can tell you now, I know exactly what Colby Ring is going through. Like, you just want to get off that mound. You just want to get out of this building.
You've been here before.
Oh, yeah.
As Ring delivers and gets the swinging strike 1.
You know, a pop-up, or like I said, a ground out here or ground into a double would be exactly what he needs.
He needs something hit right at either Nicholson or Renault and just get out of this inning. As Ring winds and delivers. And that one's hammered foul. Yeah, 1-2.
Really nice change up there by Ring. That fooled Morello, and he was really early on it.
As Morello has the look at Ring on the 1-2. Ring delivers 2-2.
Yeah, he
could not tempt Morello to chase.
He's just struggling, and it looks like he's falling off the mound the wrong way as well. Just not feeling and looking comfortable out there.
No, not in the slightest at the moment.
Everything's sideways. You can see his front foot when he comes forward. That was a little better, but the one previous to that, he fell sideways off the mound.
And there's a strikeout for Ring to get it to 2 outs.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 8, Ethan Pasco.
But already the Jackfish batting around in the first inning. As Pasco, who started all of this with a walk and came around to score, has his second at bat. Ring delivers and Pasco loops this one foul.
No, and Pasco was late on that one. So, you know, Colby Ring, he just can't find the corners, but he's trying the off-speed stuff, trying to fool him on that.
Ring delivers, and that one in for strike 2.
Wow, I didn't think he was going to get that.
It took a second. As Ring has the look in once again to Rempel. On the 0-2 to get himself out of this inning. And Pasco taps it back foul. Looks like Troy Ring's starting to get a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, and that's, you know, a little 2-out comfort there has helped him in this inning at this point so far.
Ring delivers off speed, and that one goes to 1-2.
Yeah, it was just a curveball. He tried to come over top with that 12-6 curveball, and he just lost it. It didn't break.
Ring again, 1-2, delivers. And Pasco loops that foul once again to stay alive in the at-bat.
Well, he walked Pasco right at the top of this game, and that started all of this. Now he's got the advantage here, second time around in this inning.
Pasco looking at a 1-2. Ring delivers. And again, that curveball would not fall for him. 2-2. That was Pasco walked, Pierce singled, Martinez and Moretto walked, Porcelato with the RBI sac fly, then Smybert RBI single, Cocker walked, Versteeg down 0-1 in the count, hit by pitch, and Morello struck out. Ring gets that over the plate, but it missed. Whoa.
Crowd starting to give the home plate umpire a little bit of the business.
I'm not sure what more Adam DeCare wants from behind home plate. As Ring delivers again, and that one is going to walk home another run. And Castelli is going to come out, and I believe that Seth Cabezas is going to come into this ball game. As Colby Ring is going to exit, having had 5 runs come across. And it's the junior who's going to step in.
Yeah, he gets a nice round of applause, I guess, and that's the crowd who are knowledgeable and know what he's done all season long and knows you have a bad day, right? Everybody has a bad day at the office. He's just having his today. And they give him a little bit of a nice round of applause as he leaves the field because he's been consistent all season long. And the people who have been here all season long, the fans on Fan Appreciation Day, they give Colby Ring a little appreciation.
Well, and they know what's happened here. I mean, that was a strikeout to Ethan Pasco. That ball was over the plate at his knees, and Adam DeCare stared at it, called it a ball, which allowed another run to walk home. I mean, Adam DeCare is having a rough first inning. As much as Colby Ring did, the home plate umpire is struggling. And it's not the first time we've seen that. And in the last few weeks, it's been very evident.
Well, and in the second to last game of the season, that should not be happening.
No. As we get a good shot of the attendance here at Bernie Arbor Stadium, and again, the grandstand in behind home has been filling in like it's done all season down left field in the bleachers.
Welland
It's been
travels
fantastic.
well. Yep.
And the Jackfish crowd, Troy, they travel well out to our right.
Absolutely. Jackfish lost last night against London on their fan appreciation night in Welland, had fireworks going and the whole thing, but they lost that one, and that was a game that London very much needed to win.
London just needs some momentum headed towards the playoffs. They are still a very dangerous team. And whether it's Kitchener or Barrie that ends up with the London Majors, that is not an easy round one.
We got a lot on the line. All right, fans, here we go. On your mark.
So Seth Cabezas comes in.
Yeah, interesting story in Cabezas. He went to Westmount High School, was the quarterback for the Westmount football team, won a couple of city championships with them, and being a coach down at Churchill, coaching defense, I've had the frustration of playing against him.
So Cabezas will open up his outing, and that one's over the plate for a strike.
Yeah, that'll give the junior some confidence here.
So 0-1 to McCoy Pierce with 2 away.
And he was listed on the University of Toronto football website as one of their quarterbacks. So dual sport athlete, Cabezas is.
Multi-talented. And Cabezas ahead of McCoy Pierce 0-2. And the Cardinals will get a look at how long he can run into a ball game today, as They've got one more coming against Kitchener, and then playoffs likely, things could still change, but likely to open Thursday as Tanner Rempel tosses back to Cabezas. Ball one. An extended inning here. You got to believe the Cardinals will be waiting for the opportunity to get a bat in their hands. As Cabezas delivers and Pierce swings through. Cabezas steps in with the strikeout. He'll get the Cardinals out of it. It's a 5-0 Welland Jackfish lead. Cardinals will get the bats in their hands to try to eat into it when we return to Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. For the Cardinals. And the former member of the Welland Jackfish will have to square off with Jake Harford, who Troy has led this Jackfish pitching staff. Started 10 games this season. That's the most amongst any of their pitchers. And he's pitched in 47 1/3 innings, which again leads the Jackfish.
Yeah, 51 strikeouts, record of 4-2. And done a lot of work for this Jackfish team today, this season, and continuing on today in their final game of the season. I don't know. It doesn't look like he'll probably venture into game one in their series against Brantford. With pitching tonight, that'll only give him 3 days rest, so I very much doubt it, but wanted to get him a little bit of work here this afternoon.
Well, depending on how long he actually goes in this game as well.
I don't anticipate he'll go that long.
As Harford delivers 3-1, and Nicholson, well, hold on a second here. The Cardinals were saying it was a ball. DeCare rang Nicholson up. It was strike two. He is having a bad day. I mean, we're drifting into Angel Hernandez territory.
You don't mind when you're tight, but you want to be consistent.
Watch this.
Already in the first inning here.
That's not a strike, and he rings him up. Now Nicholson puts it on the ground, and it'll hop in and out of the glove of Smybert, and he's down to first base.
I'm sure Nicholson would prefer that over a walk, and that was a hard hit ball to shortstop, and Smybert had a tough time handling that. Got his glove on it, but then it popped out of his glove up into the air, and
as Quinn Cotton will make his way in.
Nicholson settles on first, and he is a threat to run.
Oh, he is an extremely dangerous base runner as Hartford opens up 1-0 to Cotton.
There's that outside corner trying to make Cotton stretch across the plate. Oh, Nicholson there.
Thank you.
And Nicholson, who knows Hartford well, having been a former member of the Jackfish, having some fun with them. As Hartford has the look in, delivers, and that one carries inside at Cotton, 2-0. So Cotton trying to get out ahead here. That ball over the plate to run 2-1, and again Cotton saying that was not a strike.
Yeah, Cotton with a .326 average this season. 46 at-bats. Just the one home run. But he has been a bit of a double machine since he's got here with the 4 doubles and just the short time that he's been playing.
Cotton, who came from the Eredivisie, where he was playing in the Netherlands. He, along with Nick Cardinal, arriving from that league. And baseball in the Netherlands, as we've seen at the World Baseball Classic, growing all the time. As Hartford delivers, and that's strike 2 to Cotton. Cotton will take a step out. Tyler Duncan, who carries the big stick, waiting on deck.
2-2 here to Cotton.
And Nicholson still dancing there, Troy, off first.
Whoa, that slider really swept right across the plate and out the other side. That was a miss there.
Hartford delivers, and Cotton fouls that one back into the mesh out of play.
And then comes back with a 4-seamer right on the edge of the plate, making Cotton have to reach out for that, and all he could do was just get his bat on it, just foul that back.
Yeah, you can see why Hartford's been so effective this season.
Yeah, just a change in speeds is enough to keep a batter off stride.
The look in from Hartford. The delivery, and Cotton fouls it back again.
Well, Hartford's he's challenging him. He's giving him that fastball right down the heart of the plate. That's 2 in a row now. I'm looking for a changeup or that slider. He's going to try and, if he can get control of that slider early on, it'll cause some damage here.
Hartford on the full count, looks in, and Cotton sends this one over to third. The hot shot taken for one, back across to Pierce, and the double play negated as the ball hopped out of the glove of Pierce. So Cotton will reach on the fielder's choice as Nicholson's retired.
Stepping up to the plate, the right fielder, number 5, Tyler Duncan.
So Duncan will step in. And Troy, Duncan would be the MVP candidate for the Hamilton Cardinals, as he has been incredible this season, hitting .352 and co-leading the IBL in home runs.
Yeah, 162 at-bats, just 38 strikeouts.
And he sends this one high into right field. It's going to get caught up and die out, as Fairstake will have that one on the F9, and it's 2 away.
And that brings up Bernardo for the Hamilton Cardinals, hitting .293. And he is second to Clayton Keys in doubles. He has 10 this year. He can spray the ball all over the field as well.
Luis Bernardo looks at a first pitch ball from Harford. Bernardo, who is a player who just has a downright good time at the ballpark, as Harford delivers, and that one in for ball 2. As from the 2-0, delivery from Harford, Bernardo gets a piece, pool cued it, and that one will run foul. 2-1 now the count.
Again, Harford challenging with that fastball again, and Bernardo late on that, coming around.
From the 2-1, Harford delivers.
Ooh, there's that slider again.
And that one was a ball.
Yeah, that looked close. Now he's got to start that a little further outside, and that'll be a dangerous pitch if he can.
Looked like it finished on the just outside part of the plate. Bernardo puts that one on the ground. 3-2. It'll run the count full. So the Cardinals have forced Harford to throw some pitches here in the first inning, but they have not been able to turn it into a consistent threat, as Harford is over 20 pitches. Cotton does take off to second, and driven hard by Bernardo. Ball goes off the arm of the third baseman, Moretto. Cotton's going to charge hard home, and it's an RBI single for the DH, Luis Bernardo.
Yeah, they get Cotton moving from first to second a little early. Bernardo makes a great contact, pulls that ball right down the third baseline. Yet ends up with a single out of it. But Cotton all the way around, scoring from first and getting the Cardinals on the board here, 5-1.
There you see Quinn Cotton, who was chugging. He took off from first on the 3-2 with 2 outs and was moving hard around. And Dennis DeBanning looks at a first pitch ball. DeBanning, another part of the meat of this Hamilton order that's been really good, hitting .284 on the year. And if this group could ever get Clayton Keys back into the lineup, Troy, I know it's been a bit since we've seen him, but if you could go Nicholson, Keys, Cotton, Duncan, Bernardo, DeBanning, Rempel, 1 through 7, that is just frightening depth.
Yeah, Clayton Keys, 24 RBI on the season. Leads the team with 13 doubles. And that's the guy you want to get him back out on the field.
Yeah, without him in the lineup, it just takes some speed away both in the field and on the base pass. As Harford delivers, DeBanning gets underneath it, slugs it into right. It's falling, and Fairstake will be underneath it. 3 away for Harford. The Cardinals get 1 back on the board to start to try to claw their way back into the ball game. They trail 5-1. You're watching Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. opportunity for Cabezas to show what he can do. Can he be another young pitcher for this Cardinals team to be really excited about? We saw Dylan Clement Friday night, who had a great showing for himself. And Cabezas opens up top at 2 with a strike.
Mike Marasco was telling me in between innings that Cabezas is transferred to McMaster and is going to play for the McMaster baseball team. So
we'll be seeing a lot of him locally.
Another good arm for the Marauders.
As Cabezas has the look in, delivers. That one low, 1-1. Carlos Martinez, who walked and then came around to score in his first at-bat of the ball game, has a look at ball 2. Jackfish, to their credit, did show incredible plate discipline in that first inning, Troy, allowing for so many of those walks. As Cabezas delivers, and that one looked like he got away from him, 3-1. So likely a take spot here if you're Martinez. As the junior settles himself down on the hill. Cabezas delivers, and that one's going to hop to home. So Martinez, his second at bat of the ball game, his second walk of the ball game, and it'll be Steve Moretto coming in.
Yeah, Cabezas coming in that first inning in a lot of pressure situation. Didn't have time to really think about it. He wasn't thinking. He was just throwing. Now he's had time to sit on the bench, take it all in, come out here, and sometimes you have a tendency to try and aim the ball and be like consistent like you were in the first inning. But he just needs to come in and just throw like he did at that top of that first.
Moretto, who was the victim of the hot shot by Bernardo that leaped up off the dirt and struck the third baseman as Tanner Rempel climbs the ladder. As Cabezas looked like, again, he had the ball slip out of his hand on the delivery. That just never came all the way through. And luckily for the Cardinals, Rempel is one heck of an athlete behind the plate.
Yeah, that ball just slips out of his hands. Again, trying the breaking pitch and gets over on it. Good movement on that fastball. Started into the plate and moved to the outer half. Away from Moretto.
1-1 the count to Moretto. To look in the delivery from Cabezas, and that'll run tight. 2-1. Moretto, another one of the 5 walks that were issued in that opening inning. He also came around to score. And he will loop this one foul out the right field side and into the bleachers.
Sun's gone in behind the clouds here and cooled down a little bit. It's just a perfect afternoon for baseball here.
I was going to say, that's not
East Hamilton Mountain.
That's not a negative that it's cooled down a couple of degrees. It was awfully warm coming into this ballpark today. Delivery from Cabezas, and that one in high, runs the count full.
Again with that breaking pitch. And just not totally extending the arm.
The look from Cabezas. Winds and delivers, and it's back-to-back walks to open up the second inning. Mateo Porcelato will be the batter.
Stepping up to the plate, the second baseman.
As he had an RBI sac fly in his first time up.
Now Colby Rain got in a little bit of trouble in that, more than a little bit of trouble in that first inning with the walks. And now Cabezas here with 2 walks right into the second. 5-1, Jackfish up on the Cardinals here.
And Cabezas now finds himself in the same spot Ring was in the first. He needs a ball on the ground directly to one of his infielders. A double play to get him a couple outs on the board would be big.
The issue is that he's having difficulty getting that ball down. He wants to keep that low in the strike zone, try and induce a ground ball.
Barry Baycats in their battle with the Kitchener Panthers are in the same spot as the Cardinals are. They're down 6-0 in the bottom of the third. As Kitchener, they want that second seed. They got a chance to secure it. Of course, our Neil Sriwastawa, who was with us on the coverage on Friday night, doing that game today. As Porcelato skies this one into center field. Cotton going back to the track. He's underneath it, and it's one away. It'll be deep enough that the runners will advance. And it'll be Martinez over to third. Moretto up to second.
Step up to the plate, the shortstop, number 23, James Smybert.
So the positive there, Troy, the Cardinals get an out, but it takes away the double play capability.
Yeah, one out here with men on second and third, and Smybert up the bat here for the Welland Jackfish, and he flied out to Tyler Duncan in the first inning.
That was Porcelato. Smybert had the RBI
single, yes.
As Smybert, first pitch, fouls it back into the mesh. So can Seth Cabezas draw a little bit off of that inducing of the flyout to Quinn Cotton here and take a little bit from that?
Well, he's having a little bit of a challenge here trying to keep that ball down.
Cabezas delivers on the ground from Smybert, and that one's able to hop up over the head of Niles, who was in, and that is going to bring Martinez around and Moretto around, so the walks again come back to haunt the Cardinals, and it's a 2 RBI single for Smybert, who is having a heck of an afternoon already. As Sam Cocker will make his way in.
Yeah, nice hit by Smybert. Just pulled that ball hard down that first baseline, and just enough to allow both runs from second and third to score, and Welland just getting some really timely hitting here, taking advantage of all the Hamilton walks.
Niles had moved in just enough that when that ball came down off the ground, it was able to get up over him. They were guarding the idea of a sack bunt, it looked like. And if Niles was back to where he is right now, that ball ends up all right. As Cabezas delivers, and that one inside edge. And that's a 2-1 count. Cabezas with the long look. Staring in at Rempel. And that breaking ball had a ton of bend to it. It just started it outside too far.
Yeah, it's just not coming off his hand like he'd like to. And he's just getting no break on it. Well, getting a bend on it, but just too high.
Cockrell sky this one. It's into right field. Duncan's underneath it, and it's 2 away.
Stepping up to the plate, the right fielder, number 1, Caleb Fjorstake.
As Fjorstake, who was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat in the first inning, will make his way in with 2 away and a man on.
With every out, you get a little more confidence But I think Cabezas should try it. He should stay away from that breaking ball right now because he's just not helping him.
Cabezas delivers, and it's a broken bat single as Cotton will hop up to it, and everything has just gone against the Cardinals in these first 2 innings. Cabezas saws it off on Fiersteak, and it'll still fall in and advance the runner.
Yeah, that's some strength there by Fiersteak to hit. That was in on his hands, and that ball was really solidly hit over second base and into center field. And again, Welland with a runner in scoring position and one on first.
Gianfranco Morella will come in as Cabezas delivers. And that one outside corner, strike one. As Troy, so far, just too many pitches being thrown by Cardinals pitchers and too many batters faced.
Yeah, and Welland's taking them deep into the count on almost every at-bat.
Morello.
Nice pitch there by Cabezas.
Force Morello to foul it back. He's got it to 0-2.
He's playing with that his front step there on the mound. I guess he might not be happy with where he's landing.
Let's see if he's doing some groundskeeping himself out there on the hill. As Cabezas delivers, and that one will run high, 1-2. Couldn't tempt Morello to chase after it.
Yeah, good call there by Rempel. Wanted that ball up high. See if Morello would go after that.
Cabezas has the long look, the delivery, and that one will bounce down as the pitch hopped in front of Rempel. It'll run the count to 2-2, and the runners will advance over. Smybert, who already has 3 RBIs, a run scored and 2 singles, is now standing at third.
Yeah, he's having a day.
As Morello will look in for a 2-2 against Cabezas. The delivery. And Morello shoots that back into center field. Cotton comes on. And it's going to be 2 more runs coming in to score for the Jackfish. As Smybert will score, Fiersteak will score, and Morello has a 2 RBI single.
Again, another great piece of hitting by the Welland Jackfish, and I'm sounding like a broken record up here. Here we are in the top of the second inning. They're up 9-1, and the Hamilton Cardinal pitchers are just having a difficult time finding the plate today. And when they do, Welland's all over it. And some really good piece of hitting by spraying that ball, pulling that ball all over the field. That one right there by Morello with men on second and third. You can't do any better than that.
A mound visit to try to calm down the junior.
Now it's played the left fielder, number 8, Ethan Pasco.
Ethan Pasco has his 3rd at bat of the ball game. We're in the top of the second inning. He's walked both times. And this one he's going to send into right field. It'll get back to the wall. Duncan hops up. Morello is charging hard. He'll hold up at third. Now he's going to take off towards home. Nicholson had it bounce off the glove. Umpire Trevor Stoico kind of got in front of Nicholson there. And that'll allow another run to score.
Wow, things have just gone from bad to worse here for the Cardinals. Pasco with 2 walks in this game already, and then drills one to right field on a rope. Tyler Duncan had to go deep into the corner on that one. And another two-run score here for the Jackfish. 5 runs in this second inning, 5 runs in the first inning.
And Pasco, who just doubled to right field, came into this ball game with less than 20 at-bats on the season. And in his time in the ball game today, he's had 2 walks, a run scored, and an RBI double. As McCoy Pierce steps in for his third at-bat of the ball game. Cabezas delivers, and that one outside, 3-0. Things just not going the Cardinals' way today.
Yeah, if you didn't even look at the score and you just looked at the box of the Welland Jackfish and saw 7 walks in the first 2 innings here by the Cardinals.
8.
Yeah, 8 now. You knew that this was not going to be a good day.
And the Jackfish have batted around again.
Now at the plate, the designated hitter, number 33, Carlos Martinez.
So in each of these first 2 innings, the Jackfish bat around. They've scored 5 to this point in each of them. And now Cabezas is going to run that pitch wild, and the runners will advance up to second and third. The Cardinals really need something to go right for them here as Lanigan and Bott go out towards the bullpen. Count 1-0 to Martinez. Delivery from Cabezas. And that's in for a strike.
So after coming in the first inning and putting out a fire, Cabezas in the second inning here is not having fun.
No, it's turned sour on him. And he's still got 2 runners in scoring position and a 2-1 count to Martinez. Martinez, who is in his third at-bat of the ball game. Cabezas delivers, and that one low, hopping in, and it's 3-1. Try just to show how this game has gone so far for the Cardinals. First pitch was 2:05. It's now 3:05. We're in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, not promising.
That is not a recipe for success,
especially on Fan Appreciation Day too. Especially after how well, for the most part, this season has gone for the Cardinals.
And it's another walk as Martinez walks for the third time. Second time in this inning.
Yeah, 63 at-bats this year for Martinez. He's only walked 8 times. So not a guy that likes to walk, but there was just nothing other than one pitch that even came close to that was hittable.
Steve Moretto is in. He's walked twice and scored both times. Bases loaded. There are 2 outs. There have been 2 outs since Sam Cocker flew to Tyler Duncan, and since then it's just been a deluge.
And my score sheet is just a disaster.
Yeah, so's mine.
Good.
We're in the same boat, pal. As Cabezas delivers, and that one's going to run high.
I'm into the 4th inning now.
Yeah,
we're not even into this. Finish the second here.
I believe that's Rasheal Bott who's getting loose quickly out in the Cardinals bullpen. As Cabezas delivers outside 2-0.
Yeah, two Cardinal pitchers, Colby Ray and Cabezas, that have been on the mound today for the Cardinals that just haven't got it done.
9 combined walks. As Cabezas, that's a nasty off-speed right there that falls in for a strike.
Yeah, sort of a combination of off-speed and slider there, and not really going to fool anyone, but a nice pitch to sit at home plate and watch.
Through an inning and 2/3, the Cardinals have given up 6 hits, which not ideal, but not terrible. It's the 9 walks, Troy, that have done all the damage here.
Yeah, like I said, you look at that box score and you see 9 walks and you don't even know what the score is. It's not going to be good.
No. And a hit batter. So essentially 10 free passes. As Moretto sitting on a 3-1. And Moretto, for the 3rd time in the game, is going to walk. And that is going to bring around Ethan Pasco. What a day he's having. 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and an RBI double. As Castelli is going to come out to the mound once more. Seth Cabezas, his afternoon is finished. And I think Rasheal Bott is going to come into the ballgame.
Well, this is something that Castelli didn't really want to have to do here today, is go through a lot of pitchers. They have another game tomorrow with Kitchener, and a game that means a lot as well. And now they're into their 3rd pitcher, and we're just at just in the 2nd inning here.
So, Troy, let's talk about something a little bit more fun. Back on Friday night against the Brantford Red Sox.
Yes, that was fun.
Things seemed a little bit lost for the Cardinals until the bottom of the 8th inning. Luis Bernardo with a hot shot, bringing around Quinn Cotton to score. That tied the game. There's the go-ahead with Tyler Duncan. Pardon me, Tyler Duncan tied the game. There's the go-ahead there, as Josh Niles was able to single home Luis Bernardo, and then Tanner Rempel providing a little bit of insurance, allowing Josh Niles to come around and score. Corbin Peters got the save. Alex Lanigan the win. The Cardiac Cards, when they have been in tight ball games of late, in late innings, they seem to find a way. If they want to get something done today, though, they're going to have to put the work boots on.
Well, and the Brantford Red Sox broke the Cardinal rule. Don't wake up the bear. And they did that on Friday night. You know, there was a little goings-on between the pitching staff of the Brantford Red Sox and the Cardinals bench. And there's maybe some kisses blown by one of the Brantford pitchers. And that just completely woke up that Hamilton Cardinals bench and ignited that whole 8th inning and put the Cardinals back into that game. And you know, it was maybe a little bit of a lesson learned there for the Red Sox. If they just would have just let them go, let them be, they could have just easily went off into the night with that win.
All of a sudden, that Cardinals dugout was on fire.
Yeah, they were a little perturbed, to say the least.
They need to find some of that fire now, as Rasheal Bott will step into the ball game. As Bott will get his first pitch over for a strike.
Yeah, nice pitch right on the corner.
11 appearances, 16 innings for Bott. He's allowed 16 earned runs. What's troubled Bott has been 17 walks, but he does have 13 strikeouts. And he starts Porcelado out 0-2.
Yeah, well, they're going to ask him to come into a game where the Cardinals have already douse themselves in walks, and it's hurt.
And Porcelado puts this one on the ground. Lane Renault has it hop off his glove into right field. And it'll be a single that bounces through the infield. Renault had to track over to his left. And that ball just took a funky hop off the dirt. Duncan coming on quickly was able to scoop it. It held Martinez over at third. As Smybert skies this one up and over the grandstand.
And Pierce scored to make that now 12-1 for the Jackfish.
So McCoy Pierce is the man who came around to score as the bases stay loaded, and now Bott works ahead of Smybert 0-2. As Porcelado will end up with the RBI single.
Well, Tanner Rempel has had a day already behind that plate.
Yeah, he's got to feel like he is just
onto his third pitcher here of this game into the second inning, and he's been blocking balls all over the place, bouncing around back there. Again, another one.
Count 1-2 to Smybert. Cardinals gave up 5 runs in the first inning, 7 here in the second inning. And so much of this damage has come with 2 outs. As Bott delivers, Smybert bounces it. Bott has it. He'll deliver it to Niles, who scoops, and the Cardinals get out of it. The Jackfish again with a torrent of offense. It's self-inflicted to this point for the Cardinals through walks. And it's 12-1 as the Cardinals will get the bats back in their hands and look to get something done. In the bottom of 2, we'll be back to Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. They've got to find something here. They got to find some positivity. They got to fight back in this ball game.
Yeah, 12-1, like, what do you say, right? You're at bottom of the second here, and it's just baby steps now and a little bit of learning here the hard way for the Hamilton Cardinals.
Harford has that one run outside. He's got that nasty slider.
Yeah, it is.
If he starts that a little bit more inside, Troy, it's been doing the job all season long for Harford. As Rempel.
So is it the nasty slider, and, even even if he doesn't get that across the plate, it gets the hitter thinking that ball's outside, and then he draws that fastball in on the hands, and that's exactly what happened there. Perfect pitching.
That's a really nasty combination that Hartford brings. And then you add to it the imposing frame on the hill as this count 2-2. Hartford stares in. He'll deliver. That one low, it'll run 3-2. Now, if you're the Cardinals, there's no play to get 11 runs back. You've got to get runners on base. You got to start traffic and just chip away. As Hartford runs that inside, and oh boy, that caught Rempel on the hand.
Yeah, that came in really tight, and you heard that hit the hand, and that will not be good news for the Hamilton Cardinals if Tanner Rempel can continue this game. And
Rempel, who has been outstanding in this season, batting .311, and it looks like it might be a bit of a pain management issue here.
Yeah, he's shaking it off, and I think he's going to go down to first. But, yeah, you could hear that up here.
Rempel, one of those guys that can do a little bit of everything. He can catch, he can play first base, he can move around the diamond, he can DH. He's hitting .311 in his first season in the IBL.
And hey, he's a heck of a good guy.
He's a great guy, yeah.
We had a little after-hours chat with him in the parking lot last Friday night.
That almost turned into a podcast. As Niles will shoot that one foul. And, hey, maybe that's something. I know Eric Spearman, the owner of the Cardinals, he's always looking to find new ways to get engaged with the Cardinals. And maybe next season we have to have Cardinal Cast.
Or Rempel Room.
Oh, Rempel Room. I like that. You, me, and Tanner Rempel once a week.
Yeah, and he was mentioning that he'd love to come back next year, hopes to be back, has a job here in Ontario in the off-season with the
Ontario Blue Jays.
Ontario Blue Jays.
Hey, he said to us he's an Ontario guy now.
Yeah. Now that's a smart move by the Ontario Blue Jays.
Be a smart move by anybody.
Having a guy like that in your system.
He said he's an Ontario guy, and you and I both said, yeah, he's in. We'll take him. You can't have him back. As Hartford runs that one tight on Niles, who had to back away, 1-2.
And then he had a whole mess of ribs and jumped in a car and took off.
Well, he was carrying the ribs. He didn't get into the ribs yet. That could have been messy.
He was contemplating it, yeah.
Well, he was contemplating, that's for sure. I think that's why he wanted to get into the car. He wanted to get home and eat them ribs. As Hartford delivers 2-2, that one low. Count runs full.
I mean, even that one, Hartford just threw that. That was a nice pitch and didn't look really low from this angle.
It did not. As Hartford delivers once more, and Niles shoots that foul, and I think he clanged it off his own ankle. Boy, a little bit of everything that could go wrong has gone wrong if you're the Cardinals. Tanner Rempel gets hit by a pitch. Niles clangs himself with a foul right there. Yow. There is no world in which that feels good. As Hartford delivers with the count full and gets Niles swinging through it for the first out.
Yeah, nice pitch there by Hartford. Right down the center of the plate. Just blew that fastball right by him, that four-seamer. No movement on it, but didn't need to. Had great velocity.
Renault's hitting .252 on the year. Will step in. In recent weeks, he's moved from third over to second after Luis Pimentel Guerrero went back to school at Xavier University. We hope Luis has a fantastic season there this year. And Lane Renault's really found a home over at second base and it's allowed Jacob Underwood to get into the lineup over at third. As Hartford delivers and Renault swings through it 0-2. Renault just looking to move Tanner Rempel along here. Harford delivers, and that one high. Tried to tantalize the eyes on Lane Renault. Troy, when Renault gets a hold of a baseball, he can absolutely drill it. Cardinals just need their now second baseman to get hot down the stretch here into the playoffs as Harford able to whip one past him, and it's back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, you get that sweeping slider, and then you come in with that 80-mile-an-hour fastball, and you're just not ready for it. 80 miles an hour is not excessive, but when you see the changeup, and then you come right back with it, right down the heart of the plate, that's a tough one to get out in front of.
Jacob Underwood steps in. 2 weeks ago, he nearly orchestrated a comeback against the Toronto Maple Leafs as he shoots this one to second base, and in perfect position was Mateo Porcelato, who gets hold and delivers over to first base. And we are through 2 innings of play with the Welland Jackfish holding a 12-1 lead. You're watching Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. Welcome back to Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. The Welland Jackfish have the bats back in the hands as Rasheal Bott will face Sam Cocker. And this is Cocker's third at bat of the ball game. As Bott delivers, and that one's going to run high for ball one.
Yeah, that's the 98th pitch thrown by a Hamilton Cardinals pitcher so far this afternoon. So, third inning, a lot of pitches.
Delivery from Bott gets Cocker swinging through it, 1-1. At the middle of the innings there, you saw the kids run the bases presented by Swiss Chalet, and Emily Thompson, the amazing in-stadium host for the Cardinals, as Cocker skies one up over the grandstand. Neil refers to her as the Pied Piper of the IBL, Troy. She says kids can run the bases, and there's just a flood that follows her and runs all the way around.
She's got a bit of a superhero Mork and Mindy kind of look going on today.
Yeah, she looks like she's ready for like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like, I know they just brought the Alpha Flight comic book back, the Canadian superheroes.
So I said to her before the game, I said, is it superhero day? And she goes, everyone says that.
Well, yeah, she could be Guardian or somebody like that from the Marvel movie. There are a couple of Marvel fans who just got that reference somewhere. Captain Canuck, maybe. As Bott delivers, and Cocker will send this into center field. Cotton on the run for it. Over the shoulder, Cotton will come up with the grab.
Yeah, Cotton making that look easy in center field.
Well, and that's part of it. If this lineup could get Clayton Keys back into it, and I think ideally you would probably move Cotton over to left field, Keys in center if everybody's healthy, and you probably have one of the most athletic outfields in the IBL. And three guys who are all hitting better than 300. As Bott delivers this one outside to Fursteak. Fursteak was really the guy who set the second inning ablaze. And he'll do it again here as he's going to single into left field over the head of Nicholson and down in front of DeBanning. Fursteak's second straight single.
Yeah, again, with that in-out swing there by Fursteak, and he's like a really nice swing, very smooth, coming across that strike zone, and hits that oppo field over top of Nicholson into left.
When Fursteak came up in the top of the second, there were two outs, and he was the one that singled and sort of got everything going again for the Jackfish. At that point, it was a 7-1 ball game. And then it got ugly. As Bott opens up the at-bat to Gianfranco Morello with a ball. That one in for strike one.
Yeah, nice. Right on the corner by Bott. 78 miles an hour. Outside, just outside corner. It's perfect pitch to the lefty.
Morello struck out in the first, a 2 RBI single in the second. He's the one who ended up cashing both Smybert and Fursteak. As there is danger all over this Welland lineup. Bott delivers inside edge, and Morello takes a step out of the box that time.
Yeah, nice little breaking ball, off speed, right inside now. Went outside with the fastball, inside with the breaking.
As Bott ahead 1-2. He will wind and deliver. And Morello flares this one into center. It'll bounce down in front of Quinn Cotton. Back-to-back singles. And once again, 2 runners on for the Jackfish with 1 away.
Yeah, Welland has done it, taking advantage of the walks. Now they're doing it the old-fashioned way. Just little singles. Drop them right over the infield, into the outfield, get guys on base, move them around.
Ethan Pasco, who is at his 4th at bat in the 3rd inning.
I was just going to say, it seems like he's at bat like every other hitter.
2 walks, an RBI double, 2 runs scored. And a count 1-1. As a long look in from Rasheal Bott. The delivery. And, he crossed up Pasco that time going off speed.
Yeah, he was really late and very indecisive there. And great pitch by Bott.
We've seen this from Rasheal Bott, where he has got a repertoire that he can cross batters up. As this one poked on the ground by Pasco. Lane Renault gets one at second, and that's all he'll get. That last hop that changed the direction on Renault. He did a great job to still be able to get it and shovel it over to Nicholson for the 1. But that changed up Renault's thought process as he was looking for a double play there.
Yeah, another indecisive swing there by Pasco. Gets on this ball, and Renault very quickly over to second, because he knew Pasco's got some speed coming down that line.
So fielder's choice goes 4-6. And it's 2 out. And McCoy Pierce looks at a strike on the outside part of the plate. Pierce has singled, struck out, and walked, 2 runs scored. He was the first batter that Seth Cabezas faced in the in the top of the 1st inning. Feels like that was yesterday. And we might be here until tomorrow, Troy. As Bott has the look. He'll deliver, and that one runs away. 2-1 the count.
Yeah, 25-4 here. This game got underway at 2 o'clock. We are top of the 3rd here. They may want to turn the lights on just in case.
Just to be safe. As Bott delivers, and Pierce hammers that, and nobody moved in the Cardinals outfield. That's gone. It's a 3-run bomb from McCoy Pierce.
Yeah, Pierce with just 2 home runs on the season this year. That's number 3, and that was a beautiful hit. You could tell right off the bat. That was going out onto the street almost.
Stepping up to the plate, designated hitter.
Versteeg and Pasco scores. That's Pasco's 3rd run scored in the ballgame. And Carlos Martinez will come in. And again, production for the Jackfish with 2 outs. So much of their damage done in the 2nd inning, and now the 3rd inning coming with 2 away. As Martinez puts that on the ground, and that'll end up running foul. As Martinez, who has walked all 3 times that he has been up. This is his 4th at bat here in the top of the 3rd inning. And Martinez puts this on the ground. Jacob Underwood up with the ball, delivers to Josh Niles, and that's 3 away. The Cardinals out of the inning, but again, the Jackfish deliver runs to the scoreboard. A 3-run McCoy-Pierce home run, and it's a 15-1 advantage for the Welland Jackfish as we head to the bottom of the third inning. You're watching Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. Welcome back to Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. The Cardinals, Troy, looking to get something started here in the bottom of 3 as they'll send Brandon Nicholson up to the plate for just his second at bat of the ball game.
Well, what do you say?
It's a tough one. This is not really a situation that we've seen the Cardinals in, at least while I've been in the broadcast booth. They've had some nights where things have been a little sour, but not that early, that fast, and this far. As Hartford.
And when you're Dean Castelli, like, what do you say? You know, you're the bottom of the third here. Welland's up by 2 touchdowns, and, you know, you really haven't had anything at the plate happening for your own team yet. You've walked a lot of batters, and Welland's taken advantage of that. And then some good hitting when your pitching does finally come around with Bott. They just take advantage of that, and they're all over him.
Brandon Nicholson on the 3-1 turns a ball to right field, and it's one away.
Stepping up to the plate, the center fielder, number 49,
Quinn Cotton will make his way in.
Yeah, the whole day's just been unfortunate from that top of the first inning down.
And Quinn Cotton lays into a ball to deep center field, but that's 400 out there, and it's 2 away.
stepping up to the plate, the right fielder, number 5.
Tyler Duncan, who put a charge into a ball in the bottom of 1, steps in the bottom of 3, and Troy, he still sits tied with Jonathan Salazzo for the home run lead in the IBL.
Yeah, I mean, if there's ever going to be a silver lining when you're down 15-1, it would be nice for him to get a hold of one.
And Salazzo plays half his games at Christie Pitts in Toronto, which does not have a 400-foot center field wall.
Yeah, a couple guys up, just some soft tossing in the Welland pen. I would suspect this will be the last inning we'll see Hartford.
Hartford has had some long breaks in between innings as well, as Duncan sends this one to second. Up with the ball is Porcelado. He'll deliver it over to McCoy Pierce, and Hartford gets the Cardinals 1-2-3. And Troy, that is the last inning we see of Hartford today. You can see why he has been the man that has been in charge of this Welland rotation throughout the season.
Yeah, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, just 1 run, 1 earned run, and no walks and 2 strikeouts, and that's the key right there. No walks, no free passes, and the Cardinals have just issued just too many free passes this afternoon.
Cardinals back to the field. We'll be right back to Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. They've still got a game left with the Kitchener Panthers on this season. They need something to break their way. They got to find a way to take something out of this ball game.
Yeah, and that's probably the talk on the bench is let's finish strong. Let's take these remaining innings and do something positive, carry it over to tomorrow.
Rasheal Bott has pitched an inning and a third. He scattered 4 hits, no walks, but McCoy Pierce hits a 3-run home run off of him. So even when this ball is skied by Moretto, and it's one away as Lane Renault's there. It's just that kind of day trade. We talked about how the free passes has been killing the Cardinals. 10 walks, 1 hit by pitch. Bott comes in, eliminates the walks. Bloop single, home run.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like nothing can go their way.
But when you're top of the heap, and that's what the Welland Jackfish are, you find ways to generate runs anyway. So they'll sit and be patient and wait and take the walks and score runs that way. And when they see good pitches, they're great hitters, and they'll be all over top of it. So they're going to beat you either way.
Ball on the ground to second. Renault there. He'll deliver it over to Josh Niles at first, and quickly it's 2 away.
Stepping up to the plate this short.
Lane Renault making 2 outs here for the Cardinals in this 4th inning. And
Lane Renault has fit second base perfectly for the Cardinals. He has been really good at the Keystone.
He's done a pretty good job too, with that little lip they have there at the back of the diamond, that grassed little lip, and you got to know how to play that. And he's had some interesting hops on some of the Friday nights that I've been here.
Yeah. He got just crushed with that at third earlier on in the season, where it just felt like everything was bouncing and hopping on him as Smybert sends this one sky high, and underneath it is Brandon Nicholson into the infield. And very quickly, Rasheal Bott gets the Jackfish 1-2-3, and we will be back with the Cardinals holding bats in their hands on Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14.
Welcome back to Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. And as Luis Bernardo makes his way into the batter's box, Troy, back on Friday night, Luis was talking to everybody. He just has a blast playing baseball after he slid into third on a hustle play. You could see he was joking around with his teammates and that after he came home to score a run and put all the catcher's gear back on.
Yeah, quite a force and a personality for the Hamilton Cardinals this season. And it's great to have around. And like you said, he's a bit of a policeman for the team, too.
Bernardo puts this on the ground to third. Quick throw over to first, one away.
Out on the field?
They'll need that in the playoffs. They'll need that presence that Luis Bernardo brings.
Step up to the plate, the left fielder, number 16, Dennis DeBennis.
He has that, and obviously, I'm a Red Sox fan, so I don't want to throw the name around lightly, but he carries that David Ortiz kind of presence.
Yeah.
That he can hype your team up, and he can really put a bit of fear into the other side. As we didn't expect it, Troy, but Hartford is still going.
Yeah, he's that was his 56th pitch right there. 32 for strikes.
And as you mentioned earlier on, if Welland is going to start, maybe they're not starting their game one until Friday, because having Hartford pitch here Thursday, it is going to be Thursday. Having Hartford pitch here would be a fast turnaround for a game one. And we're hearing, it's great to have a Jackfish connection up in the press box. Abrams is going to go in game one for that series.
Yeah, that's why I suspected, because Hartford is pitching this one. So
I know I was breaking the fourth wall there. I was talking to someone who is not on headset there briefly.
He might be available in the bullpen. I very much doubt it, but
as Stepanek puts the ball on the ground, and that one gets into the legs. And oh, what a throw!
Wow, that was close. I thought the consensus up here in the booth is that he looks safe.
So Smybert, who opened up the game at short, has given way. And that looked like Tyler Dupuis over at second, who delivered the ball over to first on a bullet to get the out.
Yeah, what a dart.
That was our great stats man, Nate, who confirmed there that it's Dupuis in the ball game at short. Troy's been unbelievable for us all season, sitting down to our left, providing us with live stats, and I still don't know how he gets things into the computer as fast as he does. It's incredible.
Well, I'm trying to cheat. I'm over here looking at his book, and his book looks like nothing like mine does. Mine's just chicken scratching mess.
As Hartford tried to turn that slider into Rempel. Has two groundouts in the inning thus far for the Cardinals. And Hartford will wind and deliver. And Rempel fouls it back, 2-2.
Of course, Tanner Rempel, with that big hit on Friday night, gave the Cardinals a little bit of insurance in that big eighth inning. Got them back in it.
For my fellow NASCAR fans and fans of Hendrick Motorsports, as count runs 3-2, I'm being informed that William Byron is currently leading at the Glen. Chase Elliott sitting in 12th. Both those guys need a win to get into the playoffs.
And Blue Jays up 9-3.
As Tanner Rempel sends this one into shallow center, and he's on with a single. So Rempel has reached base in both his at-bats tonight, hit by a pitch and now singled.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. You know, get some positive things ignited here for the Cardinals in this inning. And a two-out single to center for Rempel, who's been a consistent force at the plate all season for the Hamilton Cardinals.
As Harford will deliver, and Niles swings through that one. Now the Cardinals, we still don't know who the opponent will be, but unless things change dramatically, playoffs beginning with Game 1 Thursday night, Game 2 Friday night, that one here at Bernie Arbor Stadium. Those games, of course, will be on Cable 14. And Troy, the Cardinals, they'll shake this off. They've played the Barrie Baycats, the Kitchener Panthers, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Guelph Royals. They've played them all tough this season. They got to get everything on the same page. Hope for health with Clayton Keys coming back. But if you get Keys and available Logan Walters, the Cardinals could be looking at an upset for the second straight season in the first round. As Niles fires this one out into center field, tracking back is Morello, and that will put an end to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Cardinals still trail the Welland Jackfish by a bunch, as it looks like Alex Lanigan is going to head out to take the field in this top of 5 when we return to Hamilton. No, pardon me, he's going to fill in behind the plate while Rempel gets his gear on. Rasheal Bott will head back to the mound when we return to Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. Conversation about playoffs. Again, we do not yet know the opponent, but Game 1 will be on the road on Thursday. Game 2, Bernie Arbor Stadium, Friday night. Games will be seen here on Cable 14. And with the Kitchener Panthers currently clobbering the Barrie Baycats, it is looking more and more like the Cardinals are in line for a meeting with Barrie in the first round.
Well, they've had a lot of guys go back to school, so that could be interesting.
Barrie looks significantly different than they did the last time these two teams met. As Sam Cocker makes his way in.
I think Cocker in this game is the only Jackfish who hasn't scored a run or got a hit.
Did you just Chris Fowler? Quinn Cotton comes running on and makes the grab.
I'll let him know you think highly of him.
Troy.
I am not stand corrected.
Well, make sure you let him know that it was Troy, because I have an all-star ballot and he may be appearing on mine, just potentially.
Well,
Sam Cocker flies out to Cotton, who really got on his horse.
I'm sure Niagara fans don't like you and I anyway, to begin with.
Having the connection with the Bulldogs, certainly, or before that,
So why not Jackfish fans? Right?
Oh, goodness. As Caleb Fairstake will stand in against Bott. And barring a second upset in the first round, if Hamilton were able to get past Barrie, it is very likely that they would end up playing the Welland Jackfish in the playoffs. Now, again, a lot to be decided there as Bott falls behind 2-1. And again, that's assuming the Cardinals can overcome what is likely at this point to be the Baycats.
Yeah, at this point of the season, it's like what ifs, but when you start putting those playoff matchups in stone, and then you can look at players that played throughout the whole season and teams, what they look like now, and then you can start forecasting maybe some upsets. But Cardinals have this day ahead of them so far, and they need just to get out of it.
As Bott delivers and Fairstake fires that foul, count stays 2-2. So the Kitchener Panthers currently up 8-2 on the Barrie Baycats. That game in the top of 7. Meanwhile, the Toronto Maple Leafs, as a ball sent foul once again by Fairstake, have a 6-1 lead on the Guelph Royals in what is very likely a first-round preview. They go home and home this weekend and are very likely to play each other in the first round. So you got to imagine that, Troy, that series could be a fun one as Fairstake hammers this one out to right center. And Tyler Duncan is going to come up throwing. Nicholson delivering over to third and Underwood. And Fairstake is safe with the triple.
Wow, good hustle by Fairstake there. He made that into a triple just by rounding second the way he did. Perfect angle. He was full speed coming around second base, and if he hadn't been at full capacity there, he would have been out dead to right. Great throw.
Yeah, Duncan, the relay was excellent. Duncan to Nicholson over to Underwood, but Fairstake, he didn't even look up to see if he should be going. He just went. And because he never broke stride and got a great round of second base, he was able to get in.
Yeah, he was thinking three the moment that left his bat.
So that'll bring up Gianfranco Morello, who has 2 RBIs and 2 singles. And he will send this one into center field. Fairstake back to tag. Cotton's going to be underneath it. And Cotton will fire it into Lane Renault, but they won't have a chance to stop Fairstake, who earned himself that run. As Hogan Brown is going to come into the ball game. As he will pinch hit in the spot that was occupied by Ethan Pasco.
Yeah, he'd already had too many at-bats today.
So let's get Hogan Brown in, who has had a incredible season statistically.
He had a day's worth of at-bats in 4 innings.
As this one tapped foul. And that'll run the count to 0-2 on Brown. Two out in the top of 5. The Jackfish have added a run. As Rasheal Bott looking to navigate through this 5th inning. He's already had 3 full innings of work. With a 1-2 count. And he will wind and deliver. And that one looks like it might have been low. 2-2.
Now Brown replacing Pasco, who had 2 walks, a hit, 3 runs, 2 RBIs. Pretty good day for him.
Hogan Brown hitting .366 on the season, although that time got caught by Rasheal Bott, who is through 3 1/3 and has managed to settle things down a bit for these Cardinals, but they still need to find a way to get something positive done on the other side. We'll see if they can build to it when we return to Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. Welcome back to Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. Some changes for the Welland Jackfish. So after we saw Tyler Dupuis step in for James Smybert on the left side of the field, Ethan Hunt will go into third base, spelling off Steve Moretto, and Hogan Brown, who pinch hit in the last inning, will stay in left field for Ethan Pasco. The man who remains is Jake Harford. And he is continuing to frustrate the Cardinals batters. As 1-1 now, the count as Lane Renault steps in. Renault struck out his first time up. You know what's great is back at the home office, I'm getting like live updates on other stuff that's going on around the sports world. So like I've got a guy right now. Well, you know him. It's Brucey. He is sending me live race updates from Watkins Glen as we go. This is fantastic. As Lane Renault on the ground. That one juggled by Dupuis, and once again, Tyler Dupuis. He's had a couple of balls give him trouble, and as soon as he gets a hold of it, he comes up with rockets over to first base to record the out.
Yeah, really impressed with his hands. Picks up that ball, and his transfer glove to hand and his arm over to first is just next level. Not a big guy, but a lot of power behind that throw. And he was pretty deep, shortstop position there, and didn't even really make that close.
Harford delivers strike one. No, I can't believe he had the juggle and still had Renault by that much space. That's an incredible throw. It's not like Renault wasn't moving. So it's a 16-1 score here in the bottom of 5. As Jacob Underwood takes a look at ball 2.
Guess now it's 2 touchdowns and a rouge.
A rouge. You know, as a kid, the first time I ever heard the single referred to as a rouge was actually on The Simpsons.
Really?
There's an episode where they're flipping through the channels, and it comes up with a Canadian Football League draft. The Saskatchewan Roughriders, who scored only 4 rouges all last season. As Harford delivers, and that's outside. I think we're making some folks laugh up here today, that's half our job done.
You look at the scoreboard and you can't but laugh, right? You got to enjoy.
Correct.
You've got to enjoy yourself. So let's do that.
Harford delivers, and Underwood will deliver a single as he shoots it up the gut. And with one away, Jacob Underwood is on base.
Stepping up to the plate, this shortstop, number 25, Brandon Nicholson.
Since really stepping into the lineup on a more full-time basis, Troy, Jacob Underwood has raised his batting average about 100 points and has really been a revelation in this Hamilton lineup headed towards the playoffs.
Well, sometimes all you need is a chance to get some ABs.
Speaking of ABs, Brandon Nicholson is going to turn one out to left field. And it's back-to-back singles for the Cardinals, and they've got 2 on.
Now, we talked about this last inning is don't even look at the scoreboard.
No.
Just beat them from here on in. And it's not going to be pretty at the end, but one hit by hit.
It really doesn't matter at this point. If scores out of town hold, you really can't go up or down at this point. It's now a matter of who is going to end up in the spot to play you. I mean, I suppose there would still be – you'd have to get a comeback in this ballgame to be able to jump the Guelph Royals. As Harford delivers, and that one inside to Quinn Cotton. So this is really about starting to feel good for the playoffs. And Tyler Duncan, the man who's standing on deck, and I think everybody in this ballpark would like to see him hit home run number 15 and take that lead. As Cotton sends that one way out behind the grandstand. That carried on right by the door.
One out here, runners at first and second. Opportunity to cash in some runs here with a single or something sharply hit between the gaps. There's that slider again, comes right across the plate.
When Harford combines that fastball and the slider, he's got the slider really on point, he's going to have guys falling all over home plate. And Harford delivers that one outside. It's 3-1.
On those right-handed batters, you got to start that almost at their thigh and bring it across because he just has so much sweep on that. He's starting it almost on the corner, and it's outside.
Carrying too far
by the time it gets to the catcher.
Harford delivers inside, and, well, bases are loaded, and here comes Rocky Mountain Thunder. Tyler Duncan will make his way in. And can the best mustache in the IBL take the home run lead? Or in this spot, just get something positive going?
Well, if he gets the pitch that he wants, he's got to go for it. He's got to launch that ball.
A leader amongst this young Cardinals group, Troy, that they hope they can keep together for some time to come.
And that might have been his pitch right there.
That one bent to the inside part of the plate, 0-1.
Yeah, he's looking for something that he can just turn on.
Underwood is standing over at third. Nicholson at second, Cotton at first. And again, that ball comes running inside, and Cocker playing a little bit of look what I found.
Yeah, he did a good job keeping that ball in front of him.
That almost ended up being a backhand scoop.
Pass ball scores a run right there.
Very reminiscent of a Caden Fulcher glove save as a hot shot from Duncan. Look out. Clanged off the cleat of Jacob Underwood as he tried to leap out of the way of it. And Underwood just had a look at Duncan and pointed left. You got to have some fun.
Yeah, well, he was a little late on that Hereford fastball. And
1-2 count. Hartford delivers. Duncan puts it on the ground. A run is going to score, and Duncan is safe at first base. It's an infield single as the right fielder just managed enough hustle to beat out the throw. Jacob Underwood comes around to score, and Luis Bernardo comes up.
Yeah, Porcelado picked that ball off the first hop and was a little lackadaisical going the first there.
Well, McCoy Pierce was
just
he was way to the inside. And it's a balk on Hartford that is going to score Brandon Nicholson. So the Cardinals will bring a pair across the plate here. That happened fast. And that gives an open base at first. And I'm not sure that anybody, at least up in the booth here, I think we were all kind of making a note on the Tyler Duncan play, and that happened so quick. I didn't even catch the balk. As the count 1-0. And Bernardo, might have caught the shin pad there, luckily. And I think it did because Bernardo's walking okay.
Yeah, I think Hereford didn't step off, I think. That's what they're calling it. If he made a play to one of the bases, he didn't step off.
Hartford delivers, and Bernardo fires that up over the grandstand. So it's Cotton standing over at third, Duncan at second. As Luis Bernardo, facing a 1-2 count, tries to keep a bit of a feel-good inning going. And a little excuse me hit. He'll be out over at first base. It essentially worked like a sack bunt. And Bernardo will have the RBI as Quinn Cotton comes across. That was a bit of a strange one, as Connor Bowie is going to come in.
Number 15, Connor Bowie.
And it looks like Bowie is going to bat for the left fielder, Dennis DeBanning. So with 2 outs, Tyler Duncan at second. The Cardinals have now brought 4 across in the ball game. It'll be Connor Bowie who comes in, hitting .303 on the year, and fouls the first one back into the fence. Bowie's had 33 at-bats on the year, and Troy's been kind of used as a bit of a super utility guy. He's been in and out of the lineup. He'll spot in here and there, and
yeah, it's just played in 16 games this year, and as you mentioned, it's wherever we need you type of thing. And those are good guys to have around.
Well, and a pretty nice bat to have off your bench. Again, if you're looking everything towards playoffs.
There's that sweeping slider again that was way off the plate, called for a strike.
As Hartford delivers. That one up high, 1-2. if you've got Connor Bowie on your bench in the playoffs as a bat, that's pretty good. And you figure if Clayton Keys returns, one of Rempel, Niles, or Bernardo would be available off the bench, although Bowie's going to get caught looking here as Harford gets himself out of the inning. And it's 3 runs across for the Cardinals to cut into the Welland lead as they get a little something in the inning. And we will be back to Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14 after this. Welcome back to Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. So some changes, Troy, around the diamond for the Cardinals. A pair of juniors up the middle as Davis Llewellyn has gone to second base. Brendan Daly has gone to short, and Connor Bowie stays in the game playing left field. So we are seeing a whole lot of changes around this ball game as McCoy Pierce steps in to lead off the top of the 6th. One of the days where we are really glad we have a roster guide.
Yeah. Well, change is good, especially when you have juniors that are getting an opportunity to play, and just helps with their comfort level. And I believe they're all eligible for the playoffs because they're juniors. So, yeah, have them around. Get them in a little bit of game action.
And do you catch lightning in a bottle with one or two of them? We saw Clement the other night. It may not be his time just yet, but he's going to be a good one for the Cardinals. What are we going to see here for Daly and Llewellyn? And what are we going to see the rest of the way for both of these sides? We could end up seeing a full change as McCoy Pierce swinging away, and Bott gets him for a strikeout to open up the 6th.
Designated hitter 33, Carlos Martinez.
Carlos Martinez will stride in.
The 6th inning is brought to you by McPhail Auto. McPhail Auto provides professional.
Yeah, Bott's did a pretty good job for the Cardinals here.
Come visit us at 2117.
3 1/3. Just 5 hits. Gave up 4 runs, 4 earned runs, and 1 strikeout. Faced 15 batters, but coming in and doing a bang-up job, just mopping things up. It was just a mess when he came into this ballgame.
Yeah, it's the McCoy Pierce 3-run home run that just, a
little mark on his his box score today,
and really
sure.
A head scratcher too, because again we talked so much about how it was the walks that had really stung the Cardinals, and Bott comes in and hasn't walked anybody to this point. But, again, 2 bloop singles, and then Pierce bombs one out of the park. As Martinez stares at a 1-1, and that one comes in low for Bott. 2-1 the count. Yeah, and there's still nobody warming up in behind Rasheal Bott, so this might be his game as long as he can go here.
Martinez with 3 walks today.
He'll tear this one over to third, and that took a funky bounce on Jacob Underwood, and Martinez is going to have the single. So this is the 4th time Martinez has been on base, but the first time it's actually been by way of a hit. As
Now to play the third baseman, number 9, Ethan Hunt.
Martinez, who has made an impact. He can catch for the Jackfish. He can play the DH spot. I believe Neil has told me he's played over at first base as well.
And that brings up Hunt for Moretto in that number 4 slot.
Yeah, Ethan Hunt steps in for his first at bat of the ball game. As we try to keep everything straight here. This scorecard of mine is looks like somebody's writing a novel as the ball sent out into left field and Bowie's under it, 2 away.
Yeah, Ethan Hunt with good solid ball. Hit out to left field, and Bowie's right there on the spot.
The second baseman, number 10, Mateo.
Catch that line drive. And it's 2 down here for the Cardinals.
Mateo Porcelato up to the plate for the 5th time in this ballgame. An RBI sac fly flew out to Quinn Cotton, an RBI single, and then grounded 4-3. As Porcelato this time will loop one up over short and in.
Yeah, nice little inside-out swing by Porcelato, and he's done that a couple times this game now. Has a real sweet swing.
The shortstop, number 6, Tyler Dupuis.
It's hard to set up defensively for guys like that who can go both sides of the field, and this ball on the outside of the plate for him and drifts it into left field.
So that will bring up Tyler Dupuis. And time called for. As Dupuis will have his first look at Rasheal Bott of the game. And Bott catches him swinging through that one, strike 1. So obviously not the day that the Cardinals wanted coming in, Troy, but Rasheal Bott has settled things down. He had 3 runs across the plate in the last inning, so some signs of positivity as Dupuis chops this one. That's going to run foul.
Yeah, this is one where the coach really learns something about their players. And, you know, who's still giving effort out there down 16-4. With the playoffs just around the corner, those are the guys you want to rely on.
Well, luckily for the Cardinals, I don't think it's the effort that's been in question. They have not stopped. As Bott has to look back to second and now delivers. And he got him staring at it. Rasheal Bott gets himself out of the inning. That's his 3rd strikeout of the ball game.
I think a lot of that had to do with Tyler Rempel on that one. He just framed that perfectly on that outside corner. And Adam Duclair, he bought it and called the strike.
We'll be back with the Cardinals back up to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. You're watching Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14.
done. Rich Carenti has come into the ball game. He's appeared in one game on the season for the Jackfish. A 9 ERA. He's pitched one full inning, given up 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 1 strikeout. So in a Jackfish uniform, not a lot to pick from on the season. Last season, pitched 52 2/3, 6-2 record, and a 4.78 ERA, and was pretty darn good in the playoffs as well. 2-0 with a 1.2. So Carenti with just that lone inning on the season, but opens up Tanner Rempel with a strike, and now Rempel puts it on the ground. Gloved and sent over towards first, and boy, when it rains, it pours for the Cardinals. That throw from Hunt was offline, but it brought McCoy Pierce right into Tanner Rempel as he was making his way to first base. So on a play where the Cardinals, you might have thought they could buy themselves a base runner, not able to get one there. Carenti delivering to Niles, and that's 0-1.
A little bit of a sidearm delivery on Carenti. He had surgery, had bone chips in his elbow, and that's why he's only pitched 1 inning so far this season. And could be a force for the Jackfish and another weapon out of that bullpen.
Well, he certainly can be, as that ball carries inside.
Not a lot of velocity behind that pitch, but some great movement and some trickery, some old-fashioned trickery on the mound for him.
Yeah, and there you see it again as he gets Niles swinging for strike 2. You don't necessarily need to have the hardest pitch. If you can make it dance, you can really cross guys up.
Yeah, just placement, movement, and change of pace.
We've seen Jason Wilbur do that as Josh Niles sends this one out into left field. That'll be down for a base hit. Niles turns first and thinks better of it as Hogan Brown guns the ball back into second base.
Now at the plate, the second baseman, number 24, Davis Llewellyn.
Davis Llewellyn will step into the plate. And you can tell it's that time of year as well with Llewellyn wearing the number 24 jersey, which belongs to Clayton Keys, but as a junior call-up, it's, hey, what have we got available? 1-1 the count. Kind of like in the OHL when you make a trade and you got to give Chris Cook a call at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Hey, Cookie, can you put this number on a jersey? As the ball gets flared out and Hunt comes in off third.
And Cookie's just hoping it's 4 or 5 letters. And that's it.
Yeah.
21, Jacob.
Yeah, he certainly does not want
Jack Eye.
We just signed Päivi Svensson's little brother from Sweden. So Jacob Underwood will step in with 2 away, and Niles over at first. Carenti delivers low. At that point, I can imagine what would be on the other end of the phone.
Well, I'm sure he's seen and done it all, so.
Yeah, he is pretty spectacular at what he does. Not much he can't do with an equipment room. As from the 1-1 count, Carenti sends it. And Carenti able to reach up and snag that ball. He'll deliver it over to Pierce. He snow-coned it to get that out. And Carenti will walk off with no damage done here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Jackfish hold a 16-4 lead. You're watching Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. August the 4th. He allowed 3 earned runs in that inning, 3 walks, 2 hits, as Sam Cocker steps in, as Dean will face his first batter of the outing.
Just kind of peering down the left field line by the Cardinals dugout, and the legend is stretching.
Well, you wonder, with this being Fan Appreciation Day and his last season in the IBL, one more time on the mound at home, will Stefan Strecker see perhaps an inning in this ball game? And we hope it's not the last time overall we'll see Strecker, because if the Cardinals are going to have any success in the playoffs, they're going to need him coming out of the bullpen. As Dean quickly ahead of Cocker 0-2.
And a long, storied career for Stefan Strecker.
Yeah, one of the IBL top 100 players of the last 100 years. If you can do it in the IBL, he's done it. And still imposing, Troy. We've talked to him about it and kind of asked him, with the numbers that you've put up, why is this going to be the last ride of the legend? In 15 innings this season, he's pitched to a 3.6 ERA. And it's just time to be a dad in the summer.
Yeah, doing a lot of coaching, and actually just got back away with his son in Cleveland at a tournament there, and made it back in time today to maybe see the mound. Warming up out there. I'd assume that they're thinking of putting him in.
That, by the way, is Jake Dean's first IBL strikeout. And again, a young man with a live arm that they hope this righty can be somebody that can help carry on this organization to success, as the ball sent high by Fiersteak, and that will be taken in by Tyler Duncan in right, and very quickly 2 away for Dean.
Well, Dean come out here, like I said, only had pitched 1 inning, but he's throwing strikes, and that's all that they're asking of him, is to put the ball in play and let his defense do the work, and that's what's happening so far. 2 outs here in this 7th inning.
Gianfranco Morello. He's been all over it tonight after he struck out in the first inning, a 2 RBI single. A single then in the 3rd, and in the 5th he had what ended up being a sacrifice to the center fielder for an RBI.
I think Adam Duclair has stretched out his strike zone a little bit now than in that first inning.
And Colby Ring is saying, where was that when I was in the ball game? We talked to it, right? Colby Ring couldn't get a strike on the inside, the outside, high, low. He tried everything.
Yeah, we'll pass the 2.5 hour mark here.
And Dean ran that inside. That just came out of his hand funny. And that will put Morello on base on the hit by pitch.
Stepping up to the plate, the left fielder, number 24, Hogan Brown.
It turns the lineup over, and it's Hogan Brown who steps in. What a season he's had. After striking out earlier in the ball game, it dropped his average to just 364. Wow. As Dean delivers ball 1. And it's why this Jackfish team is where they are, Troy. There is danger at all parts of the lineup. It doesn't matter the constitution of the lineup. They can bring guys off the bench that can deliver immediately, as Brown sends this into foul territory. Jacob Underwood charging hard to get underneath it. Just couldn't come up with the ball.
Yeah, good effort by Underwood there. And that big foul territory here at Bernie Arbor Stadium gave him lots of room, and he just couldn't get under that, as Dean pauses for a second, allowing Underwood to get back into his spot, catch his breath.
By the way, to close the book on Rasheal Bott, 4 1/3 pitched, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, but no walks and 3 strikeouts. As Brown shoots this into left field, Connor Bowie's under it,
And that's it for the top of the 7th. Jake Dean gives up a hit by pitch, but that's it. Only one runner got on board against him in the inning, and the Cardinals will go back to the bats for the bottom of 7 when we return to Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. There you see him. Welcome back to Hamilton Cardinals baseball here on Cable 14. The legend, Stefan Strecker. He's walking out to the bullpen. He's alongside Corbin Peters and getting some smiles from Alex Lanigan, who's stretching. Troy, I think we're going to see the legend in this ball game.
Yeah, and that's some good news today for an otherwise gloomy story for the Hamilton Cardinals. His last regular season game of his career, Stefan Strecker, 20 years in the IBL, and playing his last regular season game, and hopefully we get an opportunity to be here for that, and that happens.
Well, last regular season game at home anyway, as with the
very true.
rain-out makeup, the Cardinals will have to go on the road tomorrow night to play against the Kitchener Panthers. As a new pitcher on the hill for the Welland Jackfish is Casey Boulier-Howard. As Boulier-Howard with the 1-1 count. Whoa, ran it high. And that got up towards the head of the shortstop who has taken over in Brendan Daly. Two and one the count to the Cardinals junior shortstop, and that'll run 3-1. Cardinals were able to put 3 across the board in the bottom of 6, the bottom of 5, as they'll look to get a little bit more action going, and it will be a walk for Daly.
Yeah, Boulier-Howard comes into this one, 11 2/3 so far this season. 9 strikeouts, 6 walks registered in 11 games for Boulier-Howard, and walking his first customer of this bottom of the 7th.
So Daly at first with Quinn Cotton at the dish. Grounded into a fielder's choice, flew out to center field, and walked his last time up. And he started with a strike. As the delivery, and Daly was on his way over to second. This ball is turning towards foul territory, and it will get down as Cotton falls behind 0-2 in the count. As Bullier Howard does have the 9 strikeouts on the season to go along with the 6 walks. Cotton would love to be able here to move Daly at least over to second. And asks for time with Tyler Duncan on deck behind him.
He's also a junior player.
The delivery, and Cotton gets this one on the ground. Dupuis turns. Oh, what a throw by Dupuis. Doesn't get Cotton, but as he was tracking away, he delivered a dart.
Yeah, real impressive throw. Running to his right, throwing back to his left across the diamond to first base. Real nice job. Goes elevated there for a second. And Cardinals with 2 on here. Dupuis making that close.
Yeah, Tyler Dupuis is showing an incredible range. If he can even get his foot half planted, he's just delivering a dart. As Duncan, whoa, he wanted to swing away quickly on that one as Bullier Howard ran it in on him. 0-1.
Yeah, this might be his last at bat today, so it'd be nice to get a dinger. Go ahead in the home run lead in front of the fans here.
That might have been the pitch right there.
Yeah, it was.
Carry on foul out the left side. As, boy, did he get a hold of it to carry it foul that far.
Yeah, he's got the matchup. He's got a righty-lefty here matchup in.
Falling behind 0-2 in the count.
Do you guys have the guessing game here when he's in town?
As Howard will deliver, and that one outside, 1-2.
Bullier Howard seeing what Duncan can do and knows what he can do. He wants to keep that ball away from him.
Yeah, he doesn't look too anxious to put anything in range.
Really?
And I can't blame him. As he'll run this one inside. That'll get the count to 2-2. Runners on first and second. Daly second. Cotton at first. Duncan 2-2 at the plate with nobody out. Duncan as a run would represent getting this game back to single digits. And he'll shoot this one back up the middle off of Bullier Howard's foot. And that's going to be enough to bring Daly around from second. It's an RBI single for Tyler Duncan. Troy, it wasn't the power stroke, but when it comes time for playoff baseball, that's the kind of thing they're going to need Duncan to do.
Yep, just hard up the middle. Bullier Howard tried to put the foot out. It's just your natural reaction to do that. And then he wished he hadn't, as he took a stinger right off the foot, and that ball continued on into center field.
So another run across for the Cardinals, who get it to 16-5. And the first pitch is in low for a ball. Luis Bernardo, who has a pair of RBIs in the ballgame. Sees the second pitch come in low, and it looks like maybe a bit of a hole there in the landing spot on the mound.
Yeah, it's a bit of a contentious spot today for the pitchers. They keep going by there and trying to fill that in. Every pitcher's lands differently and sometimes hit that spot and come out awkward.
Howard's delivery, and Bernardo wanted to hold back on that but wasn't able to. 2-1. Just had too much momentum. Ooh, yeah. He tried with everything he had to put the brakes on, but there were no brakes. Bernardo taps that one back into the mesh, and it runs it to 2-2.
So that strike zone's widened a little bit in this game. So Bernardo protecting that plate. 2-2 here. Reaching out for that. Fouls that off.
So the delivery from Boulier Howard, and Bernardo puts this on the ground. Dupuis will get one at second as Duncan will be retired on the fielder's choice. Quinn Cotton over to third, and Bernardo will be at first. So it's 6-4 on the fielder's choice, Troy, and with just one away in the inning, the Cardinals have another runner in scoring position. 90 feet from home from scoring Quinn Cotton.
The little positives that carry over into the next game. And you have an opportunity here. You've got 3 juniors in the game so far today. That's important for the future.
Ball carries to the inside. 1-0. As Boulier Howard looking to even the count up, and that one will run away. 2-0. As Connor Bowie came in to spell Dennis DeBanning in left field. As the Cardinals have used a number of different players already in the ballgame. As have the Welland Jackfish. A lot of guys getting a maybe last look or second to last look in the regular season as Bowie skies this, and McCoy Pierce just a couple steps from first base to bring it in 2 away.
Tough sky up there. That ball getting up, and it's almost the same color as the sky, and players doing a good job with it.
The only thing at that point was McCoy Pierce, if he drops that, I mean, infield fly, but at this point of the ballgame, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. As Tanner Rempel will step in. He's been hit by pitch and singled to go along with a ground out. And a ground out that was very nearly on base. As Boulier Howard will wind and deliver. And that one runs away 1-1. You get a look at the runners that are on first and third. Bernardo over at first, Cotton at third. As Boulier Howard will wind and deliver, and that one in for a ball, 2-1. And Troy, it's looking pretty serious down that left field line that Stefan Strecker is coming in. That doesn't look just like a regular bullpen session, just getting some work out there. He looks like he's thrown with a purpose.
On Fan Appreciation Day, you'd like to give your appreciation to Stefan Strecker and the work that he's done for this league and this team in particular this year.
So one already across here in the 7th. Can the Cardinals nab another? As Rempel shoots this back over second base, but it's going to come on for Fiersteak, and that's 3 away. The Cardinals score 1, but the game remains 16-5 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. And, Troy, I think we're going to hold here. Well, it looks like Jake Dean is going to take the hill to start the 8th. And that may give Strecker a little bit more time to work if he's going to come in for the top of 9. So we'll go to break. When we come back, we'll go to Jake Dean on the hill for the top of the 8th inning You're watching Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. We are back inside Bernie Arbor Stadium, and there's what we've been looking for, Troy. The legend is up and tossing. And I got to believe this points to him potentially pitching in the 9th inning.
Yeah, that'll be good news for the fans here, and a good story for us.
As Tanner Rempel has suited back up, he'll get behind the plate. Jake Dean will continue on here into the top of the 8th.
Not a lot for us to talk about positively here for the Hamilton Cardinals, but be able to see Strecker one more time regular season at home would be a little icing on the cake here today.
Absolutely.
Last 5 years for the Hamilton Cardinals. Before that, Brantford Red Sox for a number of years, many championships with the Brantford Red Sox.
Part of the dynasty that the Red Sox had.
A lot of rings down in that bullpen. And he's just thinking about things.
Is it 10 between him and Lawson, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
There's no substitute for experience. Would you be the least bit surprised if at some point the Cardinals called upon Strecker to maybe step in as a bit of a pitching coach or something?
A consultant, for sure.
Yeah, consultant, yeah.
Yep.
I know that the players just love having him around. As McCoy Pierce will step in here to lead off the top of the 8th. And Dean looked like he landed really funny on that one as he was throwing, and that wasn't anywhere near where he wanted it.
Yeah, again, it's that landing point on the mound. Different for every pitcher.
Dean gets Pierce swinging. When you watch Jake Dean's arm motion, it's pretty amazing to see the way he reaches way back to come through and deliver. It's a different motion than anything I've seen before. As Pierce will shoot this one foul. And what I think is Dean gets more experience and more time in the IBL, where he's going to be dangerous is because of that motion, he is going to throw hitters' timing off.
Yeah.
Because that ball comes out way after you would think it would.
It kind of looks like he's delivering a pizza. And if he get a great changeup, it'll be a significant tool for him.
As McCoy Pierce will label this one, bouncing into left field, Bowie up with the ball, and that'll be shot over to second base where the awaiting Davis Llewellyn is. So Pierce on with the single.
Designated hitter number 33, Carlos Martinez.
That'll bring up Carlos Martinez. This is the 6th time he's come up in the ball game, and out of the past 5, he's been on base 4 times, 3 walks and a single, with a couple of runs scored as well. And Dean gets Martinez swinging through that, strike 1. You got to imagine there's a lot of emotions right now for Stefan Strecker out in that bullpen if he's going to come into this ball game, Troy, and that this is the last time in the regular season at home, and that's not something I would imagine he's ever really thought about before. As Carlos Martinez just got hit with that pitch on the inside, it looked like it scraped his jersey, and he'll be awarded first base.
I think the bat boy is going to need a a carry-on bag to take his stuff back to the bench.
Whole bunch of guards involved there.
Yeah, a lot of guards.
Playing the third baseman, number 9, Ethan Hunt.
So with nobody out in the inning, it is 2 on with Pierce at second, Martinez at first, and Ethan Hunt at bat.
Some action in the Welland bullpen now.
As Dean delivers, and it's 1-0 to Hunt. As Dean with the long look in for the sign from Rempel. The delivery. And that one flared into center field. Cotton charging on. He's got it, one away.
Well, again, Dean doing what he has been asked to do when he came into this one is just put the ball in play, let his defense do the work, and he's been accurate. Hasn't hurt the Cardinals at all. And he's faced 8 batters, and he has not walked anyone, so as a hit batter, but hasn't hurt the Cardinals in that department.
Porcelato comes up with a couple of RBIs in the game and a couple of singles. And sees a first pitch ball. Dean will have the look and deliver. That one just off the outside. 2-0.
Tanner Rempel trying to frame that again on that outside corner, but Adam Duclair would have none of it.
You know, that's a luxury. We talked about some luxuries that the Cardinals will have. Again, talking to Tanner Rempel about this last night, this is a really young team that if they can keep this group together, if you have next season that combination of Rempel and Bernardo that go back and forth catching,
yeah,
it's pretty good.
And don't forget, Rempel, he was out of baseball for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know,
certainly hasn't missed a beat. As Dean delivers that one high, and he'll walk Porcelato, and that'll bring Tyler Dupuis to the plate.
Stepping up to the plate, the shortstop, number 6, Tyler Dupuis.
That's the first walk that's been issued by Dean. As Tyler Dupuis enters the game hitting .257 on the season. 0 for 1 in the game with a strikeout. And that ball is going to hop through, and McCoy Pierce stays planted over at third base.
Well, it's definitely 2 teams here today with 2 different things on their mind. They were Welland Jackfish were trying to get through this one without any injuries, trying to use as few as pitchers as they can as we see that pass ball. And they are moving on to the playoffs in their minds already on Thursday. And the Hamilton Cardinals have a little bit of work to do tomorrow, and then they'll find out who they play on Thursday.
I would be extremely surprised at this point, Troy, if it is not the Barrie Baycats. Brantford, by the way, up 9-6 on London. That game has not gone final yet. Kitchener has beaten Barrie 10-2. And I think that combination combined with this game, I believe that locks in the Cardinals and the Baycats. I could be slightly off, but Barrie is out of games. They cannot catch Kitchener. Kitchener will win their 5th straight. And with the Cardinals dropping this one, even with Guelph's loss to Toronto seeming likely today, the Cardinals would at best be able to tie, and they cannot
They'll
pass.
lose the tiebreaker.
Yeah, they cannot pass. As the Cardinals surrender a run here with McCoy Pierce coming across the plate, and now Dean Castelli out to talk to Jake Dean. So I am fairly certain at this point that As Tyler Dupuis walked to bring home that run, I'm fairly certain at this point that we're going to see the Cardinals and the Baycats in the first round of the playoffs, and that is an interesting matchup. As you and I were talking about earlier, the Barrie Baycats are a much different looking team than they were a couple weeks ago.
Now to play the catcher, number 16, Sam Cocker.
Still lots of players on that team that can do damage, whether it's Odd, Rodriguez, Rio, Jaco. But it's the bottom part of that lineup that's been depleted a little bit. As Dean delivers, and that one all the way to the backstop, and Martinez stays planted over at third base. Jackfish trying not to run up the score here.
Yeah, this bases loaded situation has just got Dean a little rattled here now in this eighth inning.
Dean delivers, and that one inside part of the plate evens it at 1-1.
He came into this game throwing the ball well, like good control, throwing strikes, letting his defense do the work, and he's lost a little bit of that control point, that release point here. I don't know whether it's that landing foot again, as we talked about, that a couple pitchers have been working on that front part of the mound.
Pitched around Porcelato a little bit and then didn't seem like he got it back in the at-bat against Dupuis. As Cocker taps that one back foul, 1-2.
And I think a little bit of Rempel coming out and Dean Costelli coming out, talking to him, telling him to throw the ball, don't aim. Throw, don't aim. At least that's what they used to come out and tell me.
Just throw the ball, kid. As Dean brought that one in high, 2-2.
Pitching is a lot of psychological thought behind it.
Well, you're kind of out there on an island, literally.
Yeah, you get into a groove, it's the best feeling in the world when things aren't going well. Like I said in that first inning, you just want to get the heck out of there.
Yeah, that's where it can be problematic because it's such a momentum spot. When you get rolled, we saw Hector Yan in this ballpark a couple weeks ago for the Guelph Royals. And he was unbelievable in that ball game as Underwood gets one over at third to first. Niles can't quite hoist the ball as Martinez comes home. As Underwood looked to turn the double play to get out of it, and it got over to Josh Niles, but it was on a bit of a bounce as Martinez scores, and it's 18-5.
Yeah, he had to hurry that throw, and it was a little low, and Niles had a tough time with it, keeping that ball in front of him.
So a fielder's choice against Sam Cocker. As Caleb Fiersteak.
And Cocker still the only Jackfish from that starting lineup that doesn't have a hit or a run in this game.
Has been on base twice.
Apologize to the Cocker family and all the Cocker fans.
Well, he does, I believe, pick up an RBI in that situation.
He does. He had one, yeah.
So that'll put him on the board. As that ball to Fiersteak ran inside. 3-1 the count. As a long look in from Jake Dean. He'll deliver the 3-1, and that one is going to hop, and well, it's going to be a ball anyway, which will move everybody around. And with 2 away, the bases are loaded for Gianfranco Morello.
Step up for the plate to center.
Now Stefan Strecker just down there in that Cardinals bullpen, just standing there with the ball, watching the goings on here in this 8th inning. Yeah. He hasn't thrown a pitch in a number of minutes, so I think he's warm. He's just kind of taking it all in.
It's slowed down a bit on him here as well, as there become a bit of a flow to the game. As Jake Dean delivers a strike to Morello. As 2 runs have come across here in the top of the 8th inning. And Morello right back to the pitcher, Dean, who tosses over to Niles at first. Dean will get out of it, and the Cardinals will go to bat in the bottom of the 8th when we return to Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. Here on Cable 14, let's take a look at some of the handiwork of the Welland defense, Troy. Even when the Cardinals have had a couple moments where I think they might get some runners aboard, Tyler Dupuis with a couple of big plays on bouncing baseballs to get outs, and it just seemed like even when they have a bit of luck going in the game, it turns on them.
Yeah, so impressed with his hands and the quickness of his hands. He's deep in that hole in the shortstop position, and he's able to make throws that people in this league just shouldn't be making. And just impressive stuff from him.
Caleb Fearstake, who started this game in right field, has come onto the mound to pitch for the Jackfish. Mateo Porcelato has moved over to first. McCoy Pierce, the first baseman, has moved to shortstop. I believe Tyler Dupuis, the shortstop, has moved to second. Ethan Hunt stayed at third, thank goodness, and trying to pick up the numbers on the outfielders.
75.
So it's been a little bit all over the place here. Here's Caleb Fearstake, who in the ball game with the bat in his hands has 2 singles, a triple, and a walk with 3 runs scored. So he's got it done on that side. We'll see what he can do while pitching.
Yeah, everything going right here for the Welland Jackfish in today's game.
Number 1, Caleb Fearstake.
Up 18-5 here. Bottom of 8.
And the first man that Fearstake is going to face is Josh Niles after they moved almost the entire infield.
This will be interesting, and technically he's not even a pitcher. Just trying this out this afternoon.
This is wacky.
First baseman, number 30, Josh.
As
Welland now with McCoy Pierce at short are using their third different shortstop in the ball game.
Oh, he comes out throwing at 85 miles an hour.
Yeah,
right from right field.
As Fearstake has the look at Niles. And the delivery, and that hit Niles, who will take his base. As
Stepping up to the plate, the second.
Davis Llewellyn will have a second go at the plate here. Flew out to the third baseman his last time up. And Fearstake gets that one over for a strike. As Fearstake looks in and delivers to Cocker, and he's ahead 0-2. Llewellyn, the junior.
87 mile an hour fastball on the outside of the corner.
Who predicted that when he was jogging in from right field? As Fearstake ran that one in a little bit, as looked like it slipped out of his hand on the way.
My hand's up down here when you ask the question.
We are joined up in the booth by a representative for the Welland Jackfish who knew what was coming. The rest of us are just sort of sitting in awe. As Fearstake wanted that one and did not get it. That was tight. As Fearstake delivers, and that one chopped on the ground. Dupuis has it at second to short, and a fumble of the ball. But Niles is called out as McCoy Pierce lost the ball, but umpire Trevor Stoico called Niles out while he was standing on second base. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was confusing there. We're going to see that right here. This ball coming right out of the hole, the high bounce. I don't get that. Drops it. He's on the bag.
Is on. Oh, jeez.
Well, like we say in the OHL, the referee has a dinner date.
Yep. Let's hope. As
I called him safe.
Jacob Underwood, the man up to bat, and it is 1-1. As Fearstake has to look into Underwood. And the delivery, and Underwood swung through that. Sam Cocker asked him for some heat. And it came.
Century mark.
And Troy, do we have an official number? 101 from Fearstake. The young man started the game in right field. Keep in mind, he scored 3 runs, 2 singles, and a triple before coming out of right field to hit the century mark on the mound. And that one does not get the call either. Full count with 1 away. Having a look into Cocker. Delivery from Fearstake, and that one hit into the sky by Underwood, but it hangs up. And that will allow Gianfranco Morello to come on to it, and it's 2 away.
Wow, impressive work by Fearstake here. Like you said,
Stop, number 41, Brendan.
A nice weapon to have, and he comes out throwing strikes with a lot of gas behind it.
And back being checked over to first is Davis Llewellyn as Brendan Daly comes up. Daly, since coming in for Brandon Nicholson, has a walk and a run scored. As Fearstake evens the count at 1-1. Fearstake with the look into Cocker. And he'll deliver to have Daly tap that back into the mesh. Boy, talk about weapons everywhere for the Welland Jackfish.
You know, he's just throwing gas there. And that last one was 84 miles an hour. And he could bump it up as well.
Delivery from Fearstake, and that one, again, back into the mesh from Daly. And Fearstake is just hammering the strike zone. Fearstake winds and delivers, and that one, no, he wanted it again, and he doesn't get it again.
I think he's just developed the changeup right in the middle of the game.
Yeah, it looks that way. I can't believe he didn't get it. As Fearstake delivers on the 2-2, and Daly again shoots that off back foul. He's just having fun.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you?
Come into a game right out of right field, start throwing triple digits, and we'll throw a changeup in there, keep everyone off pace.
Delivery from Fearstake, and again tap back as Brandon Daly is just doing a great job to keep himself alive here in this at-bat. By the way, after all the moving parts and the traffic, it is Brandon Underhill who is taking over in right field. As Fearstake will deliver, and Daly, who kept himself alive in the at-bat, loops it into center. On his horse is Llewellyn. Daly will stop at second with the double. Llewellyn standing over at third.
Well, that's the one thing about the fastball. It's straight, and if you can catch up to it, you're going to make contact, and that's what they did. Llewellyn did just right there. And
so now Quinn Cotton will try to make a little bit of good for the two juniors who were standing on the base path. Fearstake delivers, and that one high, ball one. Now, that'd be a nice touch for both Daly and Llewellyn who've come into this game if Cotton could deliver them home. That ball onto the inside part of the plate. I'm not sure where a couple of his earlier pitches missed, and I'm not sure where that one hit. As Cotton looked like he had to get out of the way. Fearstake delivers, and Cotton got that one just in on the hands, and Morello will get underneath it, and Fearstake out of the danger with 2 on. Pitches an excellent inning, and that will bring us towards the top of the 9th with the Welland Jackfish holding the 18-5 lead, but the juniors who are coming off the base pass are getting a big hand over at the Cardinals dugout. You're watching Hamilton Cardinals baseball on Cable 14. side to the mound, and Jackson Dean starts ringing through the stadium. It can only be the legend.
Well, it's his different delivery. He uses all his pitches, different speeds. He's not going to blow it by you. He wants to keep the ball in play, keep it low, looking for that ground out. And that's what he's done all his career, and he's made his living there. The bottom half of the plate.
Hogan Brown will step in, and
Hogan Brown.
I know it's not the situation that the Cardinals wanted it to be in, Troy, but I'm sure I'm speaking for you as well in considering this an honor to be on the call for Strecker's last regular season inning at home. Strecker delivers, and Brown will foul that one away, strike one. The years with the Brantford Red Sox, and he has been a big part of changing the culture around Hamilton Cardinals baseball as he gets ahead of Brown 0-2.
Yeah, good movement on those pitches from Strecker. I talked to him a few games back, a couple weeks back, and I said, Streck, you're pitching so well. Like, why are you going to hang it up now? And, he said, his kids, he's just too busy. His wife is off one direction with their daughter playing soccer. He's got his other two boys in rep baseball. He says, I just can't do it. And then I said, well, why don't you kind of keep yourself in the loop and keep throwing, and maybe the latter half of the season come in and play the playoffs, just kind of qualify. He says, it's not my thing. He goes, it's the whole season or nothing.
I can't imagine he'll be more than a phone call away for the Cardinals if they need some help in the analysis department, as he'll induce the ground ball on Hogan Brown, and it's one away.
Yeah, we talked about that. Put the ball in play, let your defense do it, and those ground balls, let your guys eat it up. And that's how he's made his living in the IBL. And that last sequence of pitches was indicative of his entire career.
McCoy Pierce will step in. And again, on the ground, charging is Daly. He'll transition over to first to Niles. It's two away. Beautiful play from Daly to get it over for Niles to get it down to two. And Greg Marco is going to step in to pinch hit for Carlos Martinez's spot.
Really kind of ironic. You have the two juniors playing short and second. Stefan Strecker, 44-year-old Stefan Strecker on the mound. He could be their dad.
Talking to Tanner Rempel earlier on this season, he says when Strack talks, everybody listens. Of course, when you're that big, it's not hard to make people pay attention.
That's true. And he's got that whole vice principal thing going on, too.
Yes, he does. Dundas' own. Strecker delivers, and Marco taps that one out foul. Oh, and 1. That one runs inside, evens the count 1-1. As Greg Marco came into the game hitting .231 on the season. As Marco will foul that off 1-2. This is just the 14th at bat of the regular season for Marco.
So you see there, difference in velocity. Strecker 65 miles an hour on that last pitch. Same result.
Delivery from Strecker, and he gets Marco swinging. As the legend walks off the field one last time in the regular season, it's to a strikeout, and could it be any more perfect for Stefan Strecker, the career that he's had? Troy, that is putting the final exclamation point on an amazing run in the IBL.
Well, as you said it, that's the exclamation point on Stefan Strecker's career right there. A strikeout, swinging strike, change of speeds, perfectly placed. Yeah. That forkball then just bottom just drops out of it.
And Marco walks away with a smile on his face. Like, look at the stride off the mound.
And he knew it too. He wants to go another inning.
Well, the regular season career of Stefan Strecker comes to a conclusion, but like I said, Troy, a number of times, they're going to need him if they're going to have success in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, things, it might not show on the scoreboard, but it's a great day in Hamilton Cardinals baseball.
Yeah, for him to pitch his final inning in this uniform means a lot to this franchise. As the Jackfish are going to bring on Scott Gillespie for this bottom of 9.
Now on the mound for Welland, number 26, Scott Gillespie.
Gillespie has pitched 34 1/3 on the season, given up 37 hits, 30 runs, 27 of them are earned, 29 strikeouts to 18 walks. He's got a 1-2 record with 1 save. And he'll face Duncan, Bernardo, and Bowie with Rempel behind them if anybody gets on base. Well, I'm sure that the Cardinals wish that Strecker had been in the building Friday night to give him a save opportunity against the Brantford Red Sox. Unfortunately, that was not in the cards.
Well, that was the the strong finish that the Cardinals were looking for in this game. Thanks to Stefan Strecker. You know, it's what he's done all his career.
Just comes in, pitches a clean inning.
As a defense, he's the guy you want on the mound. As a hitter, he's tough to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody that you'd rather have do that job. And you've said it, Troy, a number of times that Strecker could go and go and go. He doesn't have to call it here, but at home it's going to mean a lot.
Yeah, and it's, he's in the area. Hopefully he comes around and helps them out in the consultant role.
Oh, the
partner to stay in the game for sure.
Well, at the very least, with the partnership developed between the Hamilton Cardinals and Cable 14, we're going to have him up here a whole bunch, I'm sure. As Tyler Duncan sees a first pitch strike from Scott Gillespie. Gillespie will wind and deliver, and that one in low, 1-1. Gillespie has the long look into Cocker. The 1-1 to Duncan, and Duncan shoots it into left field. It's just going to fall foul. Tyler Duncan will have one game left after today to attempt to beat out Jonathan Salazzo in the home run race. Otherwise, we could see a end-of-season tie.
Well, that would be fitting too.
Oh, for Salazzo and Duncan, absolutely.
Be nice to see.
As Gillespie delivers. Duncan on the ground. Backing off second is Dupuis. He'll deliver to first. Not by a lot, but he gets Duncan for the first out. And that will bring up the DH today, Luis Bernardo. Get so used to calling him the catcher.
Stepping up to the plate, the designated hitter, number 14, Luis.
But he and Tanner Rempel will combine one of the top catching tandems in the IPL. And when you can keep both those bats in the lineup, that's a good spot to build around.
Yeah, he got the rest of the knees tonight, or this afternoon, with a little bit of DH duties.
And there's another example of it. Bernardo with a rope to left field, but Hogan Brown able to track over and bring that in for 2 away. It's just the way it's gone tonight, Troy, for the Hamilton Cardinals.
Number 15, Connor Bowie.
Feels like even when they've had things go right, they've gone wrong.
Yeah, not a real good first and second inning for the Cardinals, and you take that away.
Take that away, you got a ball game.
Absolutely.
As this ball skied. You take away the first and second inning.
Yep, that's 12 runs right there.
Yeah, it's 6-4 right now. And you're in a ball game here in the ninth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just unfortunate the way that it unfolded. Colby Ring.
Some real bad luck there, and just couldn't find it. Didn't have it today.
No, didn't get a whole lot of help on the zone either. And then Seth Cabezas, who came in, the junior, had a really good first inning of work, and then things unraveled on him. Rasheal Bott got it calmed down, and Jake Dean came in and did enough to get the Cardinals through. As Gillespie will deliver outside. 2-1 to Bowie. So one game remains in the regular season for the Cardinals, and then playoffs. And again, we're expecting playoffs will start Thursday night on the road. Friday night back here at Bernie Arbor Stadium for the Cardinals as Bowie chops this one over to third. That'll be delivered on to first. And this game comes to a close. And Troy, for the Cardinals, one left in the regular season, but it appears it's going to be the Barrie Baycats in round number 1. That's going to be what they look forward to coming out of today. But as Stefan Strecker gets mobbed by his little guys down on the, or his son and his daughter, it looks like, down at field level. And that's really the big takeaway from this game today. The last regular season inning for Stefan Strecker is now walking with his 2 little ones out down the line.
Yeah, and he had the inning that he had, and you can book it on a career, finishing on that level. Just fantastic for him and for his family. They get Dad back all summer. They can go camping next year if they want it. or go to the cottage.
Why would you want to do that?
Or go to the cottage or do whatever they want.
That's more my speed. Rent a boat, go fishing.
Yeah, I'm not a camping guy either, but
there you see it right there. And
whatever
that's
they
what
want, they can do. They got the summer.
That's what it's all about right there, Troy.
Yeah.
And that is so cool. You know, I realized that, I just became a dad a little bit over a year ago, but that is incredibly special to see.
And the kids are old enough now that they'll remember this, that Dad was a big deal. He was the man in Hamilton.
He went out a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Stefan Strecker will leave for the final time in the regular season. Troy, obviously the first 2 innings, tough for the Cardinals. They put up a fight in the ball game, but it's all about heading to the playoffs where they're likely to face the Barrie Baycats.
Yeah, and as we talked about a couple times in this game, the Barrie Baycats aren't the same Barrie Baycats they were a month ago. And, Hamilton gets their pitching staff in line. They get their bats back where they want them. They got 3 juniors into the game today. That was a big win, and they look good. So, as we said, they were down really early a lot. And I said it's how you finish. It's important in games like this. And Stefan Strecker putting that icing on the cake in that last inning was so impressive. Got to have it going into the playoffs. Got to end on a high.
Here we go. The road to the playoffs. Thursday night, game 1 will be on the road. Friday night, expected back here at Bernie Arbor Stadium for game 2. They will be on Cable 14. Don't you dare miss it. Troy, thanks for being up here today.
Yeah, it was fun. Different angle.
Absolutely. It's always great to be alongside you. From my broadcast partner, Troy Zlikar, I'm Reed Duffy. Our thanks to our entire Cable 14 crew who have made these great Hamilton Cardinals broadcasts this season possible. I'm Reed Duffy. Thanks for watching all season long. Good night.